Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and let's get ready for EJ Boxing Live.
Again, and I still stick to my guns on this. I'm sure it went by 2 points. But then again, if you want to...
All right, man. Peace.
All right, man. Peace.
Peace.
See?
You know, here's the thing. If you want to argue for Wilder, I think it was a draw at best for Wilder, man, because those 2 knockdowns did save him that fight in his title. It did.
Hey,
Let's be real.
Hey, I just want to put something out there. Hold on. I just want to put something out there. Umar, yeah, this guy is the biggest snake. Because when Wilder was losing, this guy jumped up, he turned the fight off, he didn't want to know shit. This guy, Umar, is the biggest snake. This guy ran away. He was like, oh, he's like, these crackers, they're beating us, man, they're beating us. I was like, you know what's in the fight? He's like, after round 7, he said, I turned that shit off, man.
Nah, but you know what?
You a scumbag, Dwayne. You must have forgot that. You must have forgot that whole conversation.
But you know what? No, here's the thing. I watched it again, right? And I noticed something that people didn't really take into account. Wilder was jabbing to the body with Fury. People didn't notice that. I guess we were all swayed by the commentary by both BT Sport and Showtime. Wilder was... I saw that. He was jabbing to the body. And the fact that the reason why I scored it for Fury because of his activity. When I saw the fight, he wasn't landing many of his shots, but the activity is what sways you. And Wilder wasn't active enough.
I thought he was landing quite a few of his shots, to be honest.
No.
I thought Fury landed more of the better shots. Wilder was
compared to Wilder, he was.
Listen, let me tell you something, yeah. BT commentary was biased as hell. It was biased.
Terribly biased.
It was
terribly.
So bad. It was actually so bad. I had to turn it off. Like, it was actually so bad. Showtime was at least more respectable. But BT, even before the fight, they were making it seem like Tyson Fury was about to go into his coronation, like he was about to go to death. So they were like, it's like they were giving him so much tribute and shit before he was going to the fight.
Like, let us remember Tyson Fury before.
Yeah, they were like, no matter what happens, yeah, Tyson Fury's gonna come out as a winner. I was like, shut up.
Yeah, I told you, but that's what Tyson was setting up for, talking about mental healthness and all that shit, all the stuff he was talking about. That's what Wilder lost the plot. To this day, that's what Wilder was talking about. So Wilder was talking about. That's what I was talking about, man. Yo, Radio Raheem, you know what I mean? Esna TV. Esna TV. That's what he was talking about. To this day, that's what he was talking about. That's what he was talking about. Esna TV. That's what he was talking about, bro. That's what he was talking about. Because he knew that the narrative after, it didn't matter if he win or lose, he was gonna get flattened. That he was gonna be a winner regardless. And Wilder was gonna be a loser regardless. That's what it was about. Wilder.
Yo, and check that knockdown again, bro. That was like a 15 count. You man got the Tyson count. The Tyson ball count.
The 9-second count. I watched it again.
If you look at the clock when he touches down, it's at 2:21. Click it down to 2:20. The ref reaches the count of 9 when Tyson is on his feet at 2:11. 2:12 to count down to 2:11.
That was a 10 count. He didn't really make the count then. So
he didn't make the count.
He made the count. The count starts from when he actually lands. He counts when the referee goes over and then he starts the count. That's how it starts.
It was before 10.
But I swear, I think that shit was rigged, yo.
I'm gonna keep it
real. I think it was rigged. I think that whole punch was fake, yo, because your man got up on some WWE shit. That was really ridiculous.
It's true.
Hey, bro,
you know how they used to have Hulk Hogan in the headlock, and they drop the hand once, he's dead, drop it twice, he's dead, and all of a sudden, oh yeah, brother, on the third one. Like, that shit's some bullshit. Yeah, that shit was crazy.
The Ultimate Warrior starts fucking shaking his fist.
Listen, with Wilder, yeah, the first right hand, Fury was sleeping while he was on the way down, and then the left hand came through, and he's just like, look, I'm placing you in hell for all your sins and all this shit. And then this guy just shut up like it's like God was standing over him and was like,
yeah, it's like somebody gave him those smelling salts. Woke up.
But real though, I looked at that knockdown, man. I thought that count was kind of slow. But another thing I felt was bizarre. It was slow to me. But here's another thing.
Dan, when have you ever seen a referee over a guy with his eyes rolled back in his head and not wave the fight off? He's just staring at Fury, counting. Like, normally they wave that off.
Yeah, they wave it off.
No, Fury was talking to him.
And I respect JP's. I respect Jack Reese. I'm sorry, Jack Reese, right? I respect.
Fury was talking to him, though.
Yeah.
He was the weight. That's why.
Well, here's another thing. I felt he gave him a little bit more time. He made him go walk to one corner, walk left, walk right.
No, he didn't tell him. No, he told him walk over there one time, and then he did, and then he let it continue.
No, he told he did it twice. He said,
no, he didn't. He said, walk over there, walk over there. He was instructing him.
That's what I meant. Exactly what I meant.
He was instructing him to make sure that he heard him dance.
But what other referee does that?
Every other referee, they all do that. They all do the exact same thing. Matter of fact, he probably did less than most of them do.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah,
what
really.
protocol is that? Hold on. What protocol is that? Never heard of that type of roll call. I mean, that's under the referee's discretion.
Yeah, well, the referee, usually referees, they'll be like, hey, they want to test your coordination. So they need to test your coordination. When Fury was tapping him on the shoulders, he knocked his hands down.
So is that a California State Athletic Commission protocol? Because I've never seen that.
I'm not entirely sure. It's up to the referee's discretion.
Yeah, man, it's up to the ref, because I remember when Amir Khan.
The whole thing is the referee is trying to test your coordination.
Yeah, man, I remember when Amir Khan.
Because you could be standing up and you could be fucking completely out on your feet.
Yeah,
that's why he said walk over there, and Tyson Fury did a little fucking jog.
And Kenny Bayless was like to Amir Khan, "Are you okay?" And Amir Khan looked like a little school.
Yeah, Amir Khan looked like a little kid that got spanked.
Yeah, and then the ref was like, "Nah, I can't let this, bro. I can't let this."
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. If his eyes was like looking like traffic lights all over the place, then yeah, like you'd have waved it off. But
I ain't gonna lie, Fury got a chin though, because he took some clean hits, bro.
Well, I wouldn't even necessarily just say just the chin, but recovery. That motherfucker recovered fast.
Yeah. Man, Fury's like a cat. He's like a cat.
You have to admit, Fury's got a chin. We can't talk about Fury ain't got no chin anymore, man.
Yeah, he got chin.
I thought he was dead. I looked at it. I
wouldn't say that.
I saw him knocked out. I was like, yo, he's done.
I would say he has the heart. He has the heart. He has the recovery power, recuperative powers. He got heart recuperative powers. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I would say. I mean, yeah, he got flattened twice in that fight. I'm like, he was hurt.
You know what's so funny though?
He does have good punch resistance though, because he taken a few other good shots.
You know what's so funny? When you look at Fury getting knocked down and the way he gets up, and when AJ got knocked down against Klitschko, it looked like AJ's legs weren't working, because it's like his whole body was struggling.
Well, it's because AJ's so damn top heavy, man.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But when
balance that.
Bro, if that knockdown happened to AJ, you would have just seen his legs, bro. I don't even know. His legs look like stilts.
But here's the thing. Though, I look at the punch stats. I thought, I don't agree with punch stats, but I thought punch stats was kind of more accurate with the statistics. And I still give the fight Fury though, in my opinion.
AJ's the odd man out, bro. He can't beat either one of them. I'm gonna keep it a stat bundle.
Yeah, I think to me,
knock him out of Fury or outbox him.
Yeah, let me just say this. I think this fight puts pressure on AJ to make fights with Fury or Wilder right now.
It's not gonna happen. Fury already, bro. But you
like I was saying.
But I agree. Oh, go ahead, Nelson. My bad.
And I was saying in the chat though, like I think it makes the most sense for Wilder and AJ to fight next.
That's
just from a financial perspective, I think AJ is a bigger international star because he has that.
Your man Edge was ducking that bet though. He's talking that cash shit last night. You don't want to put that stack up. Put that stack up.
Yeah.
You don't think I forgot, motherfucker? I'm dead at it. You was talking cash shit. I ain't forget.
Yeah. Remember this chat.
Hey, yo.
Right now, we'll put this chat. AJ will knock out Wilder.
Nah, bro. Edge though. That style is totally different. Tailor made for Wilder. You don't get it, bro.
Edge don't get it.
You don't move like Fury, I'm telling you.
Here's the thing about AJ. He's not as defensively sound.
He's just too stationary. He has no head movement.
He's sound scary, but he's a better counterpuncher and he has better timing and more overt offense here. So he's more dangerous in an offensive sense to Wilder though too. It's a more explosive fight. That fight. That's
somebody's getting knocked out 100%. Nobody's going to card. Somebody's going to sleep.
Yeah, whoever lands the first clean shot is going to win that fight.
I'm not even going to lie. I ain't going to lie yet. For me, if AJ fought Wilder, AJ could potentially break Wilder's ribs, bro. I ain't even going to lie. We will break that shit, that fragile shit up in there. But Wilder probably, that's my thing. Because Wilder is quicker than AJ, Wilder will get to AJ before AJ gets to him.
That's exactly.
That's how it is.
Well, Wilder's a faster starter than AJ, I think, too.
Yeah.
I just think that AJ is a better overall boxer. He's got more punches, more punch repertoire, He's better moving.
And you know what makes AJ look so stiff is when he tries to do that, like bouncing on his feet shit. Have you seen how stiff he looks?
Yeah. But again, though, it does put a lot of pressure on him to make that fight with Wilder or Fury. He's going to have to take that fight. He's going to have to fight one of them, man. He's going to have to do it quick. Because
I agree with
the time is ticking on that next coke binge for Fury for one.
Why you say that for? That's bad, man. That's bad mind now. Come on, man. That's bad mind.
You don't fight me. I'm like, you're gonna have a fight in the lane with a coke fiend?
Oh man, why you guys doing that, man? You Americans are hard, man. Hey, let me ask you a question. Did he look like a coke fiend? Did he look like a coke fiend? Did he? He didn't look like no coke fiend.
Hey man, hey, someone.
I saw him touching his nose a little bit, like he put his toe a little something there and spit wrong.
You know what, though? Let me see. Let me just say this. All fairness, though, as much as I want to see AJ versus Wilder next, I think that Wilder versus Fury's the rematch got to happen right now, man.
It's going to because basically what Fury and Frank Warren were basically saying today was they're having a rematch regardless, but they said it in the nicest way possible.
Oh yeah, they will.
That's what they said. They said it in the nicest way possible.
Yeah, people want it. It's a demand.
Yeah, people want it. This is the thing, though. This is where I agree with Nauta that it should be AJ next. Okay, if Wilder beats AJ, then everything is going to be
so much bigger.
Everything, all the titles versus the lineal champion, makes that rematch even better.
Yeah, but then you can say the same for if they had a rematch. Then you could say the same if they had a rematch and the winner fights AJ. You got the lineal champion and the WBC champion against the guy with the other belt. So either way, it's going to be bigger.
You have to think about it from a business and smart point of view, yeah? Wilder already said he prefers to fight AJ than the
he prefers. He's not going to fight him next, Edge. No, we know that. He's going to fight Fury in the immediate rematch. We know that's what's going to happen, man. AJ's not going near right now. He's not going near Fury. He's definitely not going near Ortiz.
No, man. Dan, you can't say that's a fact, Dan. Dan, you can't say that's a fact, Dan. Dan, you can't say that's a fact.
Hold up.
That's not a fact, Dan.
You don't fight one of them next, he's gonna be forever known as Chicken AJ.
Said he might put another offer to AJ, and Eddie Hearn said he's going to put another offer to Wilder this week. And Wilder said he wants AJ next. So let's see what happens.
Okay, let's see. Go ahead. Go ahead, Dwayne.
Next year, Wilder eventually, and he gets knocked out. Yeah. Say even if he put up a great fight and he gets knocked out. The fact of the matter is, because he ran for so long, people aren't going to give a shit. They're going to be like, this is what you deserve, blah, 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 this, that. So, basically, AJ's put this on himself. If AJ fought Wilder after he fought Klitschko, or just say he had a little tune-up in between, yeah, even if he got knocked out, I think the respect level will still be there. You understand? Yeah. But because he did all that ducking shit and all this shit, oh yeah, we made an offer, and then when they ask him, it's like someone's hurt his heart and shit. Damn, man.
I don't think
it's funny.
Hurt AJ because
no, it hurt AJ. No, it hurt him. That Fury did tonight. What Fury did, when Fury going over to a man's backyard, made him almost look bad in the first half of the fight, right? Went into the odds against him again, like he would get against Klitschko, while the other champion, who people were begging to fight, Wilder, didn't take the offer, and Fury did it. That makes him look bad, and it puts more pressure on him to take that fight.
Hey, you know what's funny about that?
I posted on my social media, and there's a lot of people are in the opposite direction in regards to it. They're looking at it maybe from American standpoint, maybe from a UK standpoint. From what I've been hearing out, they're saying that the complete opposite. They're saying the complete opposite because the performance that Wilder put in, even Wilder said himself, it wasn't his best performance. We
all know it wasn't his best performance. Yeah, for that.
Yeah, no, but that's what I'm saying. It's not like us that performance. Everyone's like, oh my god, Wilder. That's
but the thing is, let's be honest though. Let's be honest. 9 times out of 10, if Wilder fights Fury, it's not going to look like his best performance.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10.
Sure. I mean, Fury's a bad style.
Fury made him look bad. Fury made him look bad.
Yeah, Fury's a bad style for him.
It wasn't his best performance, and Wilder said it himself was not his best performance. So he can't be going and saying, "Oh, he's the baddest guy."
But let me tell you something. If Wilder fought any other way, and sat back and wasn't like, even if he was swinging or whatever, if he didn't do all that shit to make the fight the way it looked yesterday, you could make a case that he definitely lost. You can make that case. No, I'm saying if he fought like he said that he was rushing the right hand and whatever, yeah, he wasn't really setting up his punches, he was just trying to take him out, yeah. But if he fought in a relaxed manner, yeah, but you can make the case that if he fought like that way, yeah, like the way he fought against Ortiz, yeah, you can make the case that Fury would have definitely beat him. So I can't see. I just think Fury made him that bad. I don't think it was down to Wilder having a bad performance, because
I think Wilder ultimately, like he at certain points in the fight, he just thought, well, fuck it, I need to throw something.
Fury mentally broke him.
Well, you know what? Here's the one thing I know.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that, Dwayne. I don't know about that, man. I don't know. Fury mentally broke who? Wilder? He never mentally.
When I said he mentally broke him, I said when I mean he mentally broke him, I meant in spots of the fight. Wilder looked lost, like he.
He knew he found him in the last round, though, innit? I don't know about that. Yeah, fucking found him in the last round.
Let me say something. I'll tell you who was mentally broken. Fury was mentally broken after that last round. Okay, I'm gonna tell you why.
Yeah, go ahead.
He was.
Go ahead.
He was like, dude, I didn't think I was coming. I thought I had everything under control.
Yes,
when he
but
Fury was mentally broken. He got up.
He was.
Let's be honest though. Who was more likely? Up until the 11th round, who was more likely to go for the gusto? Wilder, because Wilder
I think mentally broken.
He had no choice. So you can't really tell me that it's like this. When the 12th round bell goes, and then like you're down on a scorecard, even if you're mentally broken or not, you're just gonna chuck everything. Look at Pascal when he fought Bivol. This guy was throwing two-handed punches.
A lot of guys don't though. Actually, a lot of guys don't even go for broken. Yep. A lot of guys are just like, fuck it, like, well, I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing and hopefully something happens.
Yeah, but I know for the fact Wilder.
I mean, at least he had the wherewithal and the sense of urgency of like, shit, I need to do something different, and he started letting loose.
Look, everyone's gonna demand the rematch. I just don't think it's the smart. If I'm his management team, I would not be going for a rematch with Fury because he would lose.
Come on, man.
Look logically. You guys said yourself that the easier fight.
I mean, I think strategically, like, it'd be smarter for him to wait on Fury too.
But you guys said the easier fight would be AJ, right, for Wilder. That's what you said, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So would it make sense then for him to go for Wilder for AJ, which is the easier opponent in your eyes, for all the belts?
It would.
You can still fight Fury after because the demand is still going to
be there. Edge, you need to put your lips on the mic, Edge. You sound like you're far away, Edge. You need to put your lips on the mic. You sound like you're in the mountains. Sound like you're in the mountains, bro. You sound far away, bro.
Even if Wilder loses to Fury, even if he loses to Fury and he faces Joshua, yeah, people would just think that Fury was a better fighter than him. That was what it is. But him versus Joshua would still be a big fight.
He's done.
I mean, what?
I don't think so.
Yeah. I do. I think Wilder versus Joshua is like they got to strike while the iron's hot, man.
Exactly. That's the whole point.
Right here, right now. And the thing is, they're still both undefeated, regardless of how you feel about the decision or whatever. Wilder still got that 0 in the loss column. So
yeah, he does. He still does, and Fury does too. So just Fury's the lineal champion still, and Wilder's still the WBC champion.
And AJ is the unified champion. So they all got their clout. All three of them still got their clout. So
exactly. So Wilder can go and fight AJ because, like you said, it's an easier fight. And then if he wins, he can still do a unification fight with Fury down the line because the demand is still going to be there.
Yeah, I agree with that. But to me personally, I'd just rather have the immediate rematch than wait, because one of these guys can lose before that happens.
That's true. But I think from if I was in Team Wilder though, I would go after AJ before Fury for a couple.
Yeah, but one,
I think AJ's at a point. Like, I still think AJ can improve on his style. At Wilder's age, I'm not necessarily sure how many more things he can improve upon.
Right.
And the thing is, and also the fact that Wilder, at his age, that might be the point where he might start to decline in terms of his reflex also.
Yeah.
So you have that to take into account. The other thing you could take into account is Fury, as mercurial as he is, as crazy as he is, you never know what he's going to do from day to day. So he might go on another coke binge and put some more age on that body, and then when you come around back to fighting him again, you might have more of a ripe somebody ripe for the picking.
Yeah, and that's the thing about Fury too. He's not the most disciplined fighter too, because he blows up in weight after fights, in between fights, and that's another thing.
Yeah.
That's another thing about it. He never keeps himself in shape.
I mean,
after the fight.
Fury might make the mistake of fighting Big Baby Miller and getting 100 years put on that body.
Yesterday just proved to me I know Wilder will knock out AJ senseless, because even though we see windmills here, them windmills are fast as hell, you know.
They are.
Nah, man.
No.
I am so convinced that AJ will beat Wilder after that.
I don't know about that.
EJ, when EJ was watching the fight, yesterday for the first time, he's like, the windmills are in full effect.
Nah, but for real though, that was a great heavyweight fight, man. It was blast spectacular. I think also, in my opinion, I think part of that was that Wilder had a lot of pressure on him, because he was headlining his first. It was a pay-per-view headliner, a very significant heavyweight fight that we've seen in the U.S. in a long time. He was headlining. There was a lot of people behind him. But I think he felt the pressure of putting on a show or something like that, to make a statement. I should say make a statement.
If Tyson Fury yesterday had a little bit more power, he could have knocked Wilder out, because every time Wilder came for like the gusto, I saw Wilder get clipped, especially in the first round. Wilder came with an overhand right. Fury just caught him with a right.
This is why I think that AJ's got more power. If he hits it the same shot that Fury,
he doesn't move like Fury though. That's the problem.
Fury gets you into position. Fury gets you into positions where the shots are open for him. You understand? And he's got the reach to get there anyway. You know what I'm saying? AJ don't really do that. AJ is a good offensive fighter, but I don't think he's a creative offensive fighter. Do you understand?
Right.
But he's a better creative offensive fighter than Wilder is. Wilder is very limited in regards to ability. Floyd Mayweather said the same thing, and I'll say the same thing. He's got the right hand. If he doesn't launch his right hand, he can't.
What's the fastest way to your destination, Edge, though?
The body.
What's your fastest way to your destination, Edge, though?
Huh?
What is the fastest way to the destination, Edge, though?
Hey, Uma, you got enough money for a private jet?
No, private jet. I don't know what the fuck you talking about.
Hey, I'm talking about Wilder getting his ass knocked out by AJ when they fight AJ.
Look at his brow. Look at his brow. Look at his brow.
Come on.
Wow, he's funny. AJ is funny.
We need to put the pressure on AJ. We're gonna put the pressure,
but AJ, listen, we're gonna put the pressure. Listen, just look at it like this, yeah. While Wilder and Fury were fighting, AJ was packing his bags, he was booking hotels, he was hiring his private jet to fly somewhere that we don't know. AJ ain't gonna fight him, I'll tell you.
He was flying somewhere with that dude with the ponytail where they rub on his balls.
Wait and see.
AJ is gonna fight 3 people before he fights Wilder. He will fight.
Edge. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do with Wilder when AJ leaves boxing? What are you gonna do? You're gonna retire as well, because you look like you're just here for AJ. After AJ is gone, I don't think we'll see you, bro. You know what I mean? Is that the truth? Yeah. Who else you like, bro? It's true, bro. Like, I don't know, man.
He's gonna be on that casino shit.
Yeah, he's on that car. He's gonna find something else to do. He's gonna find something else to do after, man.
He'll follow the next one. He'll follow Josh Kelly.
Hey, do you like Josh Kelly?
No, I'm keeping it. I'm keeping it 100.
Go on, keep it 100. Go on, Edge.
Well, I keep it 100, yeah?
Go ahead. Put your lips on the mic. Put your lips on the mic. Go ahead.
Fury is the best heavyweight. He's the best heavyweight. I keep it real. Because I'm a fan of one fighter, I keep it real. And I say,
why you no question? Edjo, you think AJ could beat Fury? Hey, Edjo, you think AJ could beat Fury?
I know. Yes, Fury's the best heavyweight in the world right now.
Okay, then why you say AJ is the best heavyweight? Hold up. You just said
I said that AJ will beat Wilder. He will beat Wilder.
Wait. You just said, I thought you said AJ's the best heavyweight.
No, I said Fury.
I said Fury's the best heavyweight.
Okay.
Nah, man, I don't know what you're talking about. Edge needs to put your lips on the mic. You sound far away. That's what I know.
You said you're all right, Spider.
No, I'm asking him. Do you think AJ could beat Fury? Yes or no?
No.
No,
ask Edge.
Okay, Dwayne doesn't think so.
Ask Edge. Edge. Ask Edge. Ask him. Go ahead.
Edge, no. Do you think AJ Joshua could beat Fury right now? Yes or no?
No.
Okay. Thank you. That's all I need some consistency. Because why is it all now of a sudden?
I keep it 100, man. I keep it 100.
I agree with that sentiment, though. Like, I think Fury's just the hardest motherfucker to beat in the division.
Yeah, I don't think after watching that, I don't think Hearn is gonna go near Fury after that.
I think he's on it, man. I think
if you want to beat Fury, you just need to send him some Brit.
Listen, let me tell you something.
That's why I'm
leave him to his own devices.
Yesterday, Fury.
Go ahead, man.
Or Dwayne,
That motherfucker's eyes are wide open. He was looking for Wilder's consent. He was like, look, I'm getting hit. This guy, if you saw how wide his eyes were in that first round, I was thinking, boy, if Wilder catches him, it's over. I was so nervous for him. Going into the ring. Because BT, they made it seem like it was a coronation, like it was about to be the death of Tyson Fury.
Like he was being sacrificed.
I know, but that's what.
I tell you one thing, there was a lot of winners tonight, man. BT was a winner tonight because now they have their pay-per-view star over there in the UK besides have Joshua. So they got Fury now. They're like, okay, we got our pay-per-view star.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a tug of war over there for you guys between Sky Sports and BT.
So we have to see what the pay-per-view numbers come up as.
Yeah, that's true. But still, either way, you still have a pay-per-view star over there. So it's not just Joshua now; it's Fury too.
The troublesome thing about pay-per-view is when it's your first one, at least in terms of the US pay-per-view, what I'm talking about. When it's your first one, you don't have precedents to go off of. So, like, a lot of people aren't necessarily familiar with you as they might be in the future. So I don't necessarily expect the numbers for this one to be like amazing, maybe a couple 100,000 or something. But
no, I expect it to be 200.
But I think in the future, both of them are going to be very, very, do very well on.
Yeah. I'll tell you one thing, man. If this is 500,000 buys, then I'll be shocked. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah,
I won't be, man.
To me, if this did like 200 to 250, I think the next one with either of them against pretty much any other opponent will do it. Probably at least that and then some. Like probably 100,000 extra. Even if they're not even fighting each other. If they're fighting each other again, it'll probably be double.
That's true. I agree with that.
But this is the danger though. This is the danger, like at the moment.
Oh, your lips are on the mic now.
I don't know about you guys, yeah. I don't know about
your lips are on the mic now.
Yeah, you're on the mic, man. I can hear him, man. Go ahead.
Yeah. I said they are on the mic now. I'm saying they are on the mic now. Yeah, so go ahead, Les. I can hear you.
Putting the mic on full effect.
Yeah, the excellence in full effect. Go ahead.
I'm gonna start using that.
Hold up. Ezno, you want to get a mic? Google that shit.
I can't hear Ezno to this day.
Go to Google and find out about fixing your ears, guys. Yeah.
Go ahead, Edge. We're listening.
Anyways, you got me distracted. What was you talking about?
I don't know what I was saying.
I don't remember.
Can I say something before you go say something, Edge? Let me say something. I noticed a little hypocrisy by some of these people, right, who felt that Fury won, right? This is the same people who felt that Kovalev beat Ward, and the reason why they felt Kovalev won that first fight is because he knocked down Ward. I'm like, well, wait a minute. Tyson Fury got knocked down twice. Why are you changing your stance all of a sudden? You know what I'm saying?
Different fights.
Yeah, no, I'm saying. I get that, but they're basing it off the knockdowts. That's what they're basing it off.
Well, I mean, just saying that all so-and-so is knocked down, that doesn't, like, that's not how you score fights. You score fights.
That's what I mean. The people are basing it off knockdowns. They can't. That's not how you score fights. They don't know how to score fights. And that's what you need to.
I agree.
Vladimir Klitschko got dropped 3 times by Samuel Peter, but pretty much universally, everybody knows that Klitschko beats Peter.
Well, I agree. And Nyota, you and I both know how to score fights. We know that. But the people on the other end don't know that. They're changing their fucking opinion every fucking time. They're having a double step. That's why I'm like, dude, boy, that's why you can't take them seriously. He's like, you can't score fights based off of one fucking knockdown. You can't do that.
Yeah. And that's why when you do
Pacquiao Marquez, man. Pacquiao Marquez was down 3, like he was dead. A lot of people would have probably counted him out completely. Like,
that's why
came back and now box the shit out of him.
And that's why when they do these TV shows, they should educate the fans on how the fight is scored. Yeah. And that if you do a knockdown, this is what it actually means. Because when you get casual, because you're a casual fan, you just watch boxing for the first time. They don't actually show you it's just different. Like you got one scorecard saying this, another scorecard saying that, and then you got one person saying, "Oh, he got 2 knockdowns, so that means he won." And it's like, no. I mean, if it was based on just 2 knockdowns, you might as well just quit now, because what's the point of fighting anymore? Do you know what I mean?
At that point, you might as well call the fight completely off. I
got 2 knockdowns. There's no point continuing on. Do you know what I mean? What's the point? You're wasting energy. Do you know what I mean? So, but anyways, but what I was gonna say is. Like who paid pay-per-view for this? Who paid, like, in America? You paid like $70 for that?
I did.
It's worth it though. It's worth it.
My brother did. My brother paid for it, so
it was worth it. It was worth it.
It was paid for it.
You got your money.
I would fight myself. It was like
I pretty much. I mean, I'm not the best example though necessarily, because I paid for pretty much every pay-per-view. I'm somebody that likes to support the fighters, because I'm not one of these people that wants to have people crying me a river about, oh, so and so was broke 20 years later or whatever. You know what I mean? I support the fighters.
Don't worry, man. You won't be responsible if they end up broke down the line.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying.
You know what I mean?
And I understand that sentiment too. I understand this. No, I don't like it when people are trying to like say like that they're fans or followers or whatever of a certain fighter, and yet they won't even put down the money to see that fighter fight, or to make those big fights that they want to see happen, things of that nature.
Yeah. Let me switch gears on this a little bit. Let's talk about AJ and Dillian White, because we know that fight's going to happen in April. I think that AJ is going to see a different Dillian White, man. He may lose that fight. I'm just about that,
my friend. That's if Dillian White survives Chisora, my friend.
That's true. If he survives it, but I expect he will.
I just think Chisora
I think he will, man.
It's a matchup problem for Dillian White.
I think he's a matchup issue for him, but I don't think he's good enough to actually beat him. Especially not after how he looked against Cabello, man. Cabello fucking schooled his ass.
There's just going around the rumor mill is that it might be Usyk in April.
What, versus White or
Usyk versus AJ in April.
He's trying to win. He's trying to win that.
Well, I mean, that could be possible.
That's another KO for AJ, man. That's another KO for AJ.
Well, that's possible because the WBO did mandate that he had to fight. They're mandatory within 6 months after the Povetkin fight, which is bizarre.
Usyk's gonna make AJ look like ass too.
Yeah.
But this is why I think that's gonna be Wilder and AJ next. I think it's gonna. I think.
Well, you know what? Here's why I look at it. It's
definitely gonna happen. I think it will happen.
Well, let me say this: if that fight does get made, AJ and Usyk, it's going to look like Wilder versus Fury in most parts, because it's going to be Usyk schooling AJ for the first half of the fight, and then AJ is going to find a way to catch up to him
and honestly, yeah, to a degree like that. I was going to say, like, I mean, you could just look at how he fought against Parker. Like Usyk is a guy that I don't think you can necessarily judge how he's going to do against Joshua, like with how he did against Bellew or how he did against Brady, so whatever. He's going to completely approach that fight with a totally different game plan. He's going to be very defensive against AJ and try and pot shot him. Because he has the skills to fight in multiple different manners. He's a very well-rounded fighter. So I think he's going to be very elusive in that fight and try and catch AJ and score points on him. So it's going to be up to AJ to cut off the ring, find him, and then eventually knock him out.
Right. AJ, I mean, even though he did improve in cutting off the ring a little bit against Parker, but I just don't think he has the foot speed to keep up with Usyk, man. That's going to be a problem. He doesn't have it. That's going to be an issue right there. So, that fight's gonna look like
he's gonna have to basically sell out and just fucking run up on him, just roll up on him, like EJ likes to say, just roll up on him and let the bombs fly, because he can't. I don't think he could really like box with him like that, just because I think Usyk's too elusive and too quick. He's too
man's rolling up.
Right. Well, we'll see, man. We'll see what happens in April. But like I said, AJ is gonna have a lot of pressure on him right now after that Fury Wilder fight. I have to repeat myself, a lot of pressure.
I know, man.
He's gonna. Eddie Hearn he said he's going to put an offer to Wilder this week. And then
if he's serious about it, we'll see.
That's what they said. If I was AJ and I was watching that, I'll be thinking, I want that fight. Make that fight happen now. Make it now.
Whatever,
make it happen. Because he wouldn't have seen anything. Like he said, there wasn't Wilder's best performance. And based on that,
it was a good performance. He knocked him down twice. I think it's usual. That was a usual AJ. That was a usual AJ.
You would probably think, okay, AJ's probably thinking, maybe not right now.
That was a usual.
That was a usual. AJ may not think like Mike Tyson did with Evander Holyfield, because this is exactly what Tyson's team did years ago when they saw Evander Holyfield's performances against the third Riddick Bowe fight and Bobby Chess, who was a blown up light heavyweight or cruiserweight. Holyfield didn't really look good in both of those fights, even though he put up a courageous effort against those guys. He didn't look good against Bobby Ches. You know, they criticized him for that performance and whatnot. And Tyson took the fight. He's like, yeah, this guy's way past it. He ain't got a stand chance against me. And they end up ducking Lennox Lewis at that time. And look what's happened to Tyson. Tyson paid a price for that.
Yo,
totally different fight.
Hey, that was a usual.
You know, totally different fight, different style whatsoever. And Holyfield beat the crap out of him
that was a
11 rounds.
That was a usual.
So AJ better not take that lightly.
That was
he may not take Wilder lightly.
Yo, that was a
you better not take him lightly if that's the case. Because it can end up like same situation. Same situation.
That was a usual.
It's not going to be an easy fight. If he stays focused and does what he needs to do, then he can. I feel like he can do the job. But like I said, he can't take it lightly. He can't take it seriously. And I think he's got the mentality. I think all these fighters have the mentality. You know, Deontay Wilder's got the one thing he has got is the warrior mentality in that fight. Do you know what I mean? He was losing, and he still came back in the last round and still went and nearly got Fury out of there. Do you know what I mean? So that takes warrior spirit there, and Fury's got a lion spirit by that knockdown the 12th round. I mean, how he got up from that? I mean, literally, I don't think anybody else, as you've seen, don't get up.
Yeah, they don't get up from that. Yeah, he was out. He was literally locked out, and he all of a sudden he just rose up out of nowhere. Like what?
That was a usual performance though. That's a usual performance though. That's
15 or 20 years or 40 years, however much.
No, but that's a normal shit, bro. Yo, you can hear me? But you gotta hear me. You hear me? Hello.
I think that what saved him is that he was still talking with the rep when he was.
They can't hear me, man. My mic was a bit off. Shit. Let me go back to the brothers then, man, because I think they couldn't hear me, man. And there's me telling Edge needs to figure.
I'm singing American Pie.
Yo,
I'm singing to the
yo, you hear me? Yo, you not hear me? You hear me?
Yeah, now we do.
All right, yeah. What I was saying, that was a normal Wilder performance. The only difference is the man got up, right? He knocked the guy twice down. Normally they stay down, but this guy didn't want to stay down. So it's a normal performance. He lose rounds. He normally lose rounds. He knocks guys down, but this guy didn't stay down. I think it was a normal Wilder performance.
But I mean, well, not necessarily.
Against Spilker.
I agree with you, Jay.
I think it was kind of a step back because honestly, even though he was losing rounds against Ortiz, I thought he was more competitive.
No, not Ortiz.
Yeah, he was
not Ortiz.
Yeah,
I didn't mention Ortiz. Against Spilker. Spilker. Yeah, Spilker. He looked, bruv. Spilker looks.
I thought those were competitive as shit, man.
Was Spilker?
To me, people saying that Spilker was schooling him and all that shit.
Yeah, he was.
He was now.
He wasn't. Wilder was in that fight all the way.
Oh, come on, man.
He was.
Oh, my God.
Spilker was making Wilder miss all over the place. In fact, I'll tell you this. I'll admit to you, I agree with one stance. Wilder was landing more shots in the early rounds on Spilker than he was with Fury. I'll give you that. But Spilker was making him look silly. He was.
No, he wasn't, man. He was. Okay. That was a competitive fight. That was a very competitive fight. I had that fight close. I had Spilker maybe up by a round.
Oh my days! Now.
And I'm supposed to be a Wilder hater.
Nah, we know you. We know you. Yeah,
getting on the panties yesterday and calling me a fucking Wilder hater.
Oh man,
Wilder was very much in that fight.
Yeah. Like PNC, I don't know, man. It's like strange.
PMC's my boy, man. PMC's my boy. I like PMC, man. PMC's my boy, man. But hey, listen, you lot were putting it on it. You lot won't giving thing no credit. Yeah, what up, low place? You sitting there? You in a low place? Are you in a low place? Because you ain't saying nothing. But go ahead. Who was talking? He's there, like. But
So let's put this then. Are you gonna say let's see if you get asked this? Let's see if you ask this question. Yeah. Wilder against Washington. Was Washington winning that fight before the knockdown?
Yeah, he was. Yeah. Well, and the thing is, I was probably one of the only people on the account for this shit that said that Washington was going to be a very difficult fight.
I said it too. I said it myself.
No, not only just that though, because I think Washington is a very good boxer. He is a skilled technical boxer. He's very elusive. He is very quick on his feet for a guy of that size. You know, I knew that he was going to be difficult for Wilder. And I did think that he was up in that fight, but eventually Wilder was able to figure out I can't. I need to let my hands fly.
But this is the problem with Wilder. This is the problem I have with Wilder. Like, I'm trying to be objective with Wilder as much as I can. Like, I don't want to be like all up, you know, bad on Wilder all the time. Like, but what I do is I look at fighters and I'm thinking, you know, I want to see some improvement. I want to see something that's going to make me think, you know what, this is going to be dangerous. Yeah? Like with Spence, for example, before he fought Kell Brook, I saw improvements in Spence, and I thought, okay, this is going to be a dangerous fight for Kell Brook. I still thought Kell Brook was going to win because obviously, you know, he's the champion, proven. But I thought this is going to be a dangerous fight because I can see that he's got skills and he's got different things that he can cause problems. But then with Wilder, I keep on seeing the consistency of him losing fights against average opponents. And then yes, he's got that right hand that's going to knock people out. But if he faces someone who is a good boxer that can last 12 rounds, he's going to lose.
Well, he did do. He did do, and he put them on their back because he's the best boxer in the division. I don't know what you're talking about. That's the best boxer.
Here's the thing, though. Like, I think that's a valid edge. Like, because I agree with you in certain respects. But the thing is, I also think that Wilder's improved fight after fight after fight. And at this point, even if he's going up, like if he was rematching some of those same average opponents, as you like to call them, again, he would finish them way quicker and way more decisively.
I was disappointed in Wilder in this performance because I was expecting more from him.
Oh, come on.
Expecting more from you.
That's a lie. That's a lie. What do you mean? Hey, bro, he knocked the guy twice down on the floor. Last time he knocked the guy once. So what were you expecting? He's doing what he does. Like, what you don't make no man. What are you expecting? More knockdowns, right?
Lucky. Why was lucky?
What?
Are you gonna rely on luck every single fight?
Oh, you're funny, man.
Gonna rely on luck?
You're funny, dude, bro. You funny, bro. You even give me love.
Okay, he was lucky against Klitschko. What are you talking about? He was lucky against He was lucky against Klitschko. So what are you talking about? And Dillian White. So what are you talking about, man?
Oh man, what?
He was winning the fights. It's different. He's winning the fights.
He was different. He was almost knocked out. White. He was knocked out against Klitschko.
Yeah, but he was winning the fights. Look, you can't judge who's winning the fights by how many times he's been knocked down. That's a completely different thing.
He was winning against Klitschko? You say he was winning?
He was winning against Klitschko.
Nah, he was beating Klitschko.
Yeah, exactly. He was beating Klitschko before the knockout. He would have won the points.
How many rounds?
I mean, it was close. It was close. It was a close fight.
Okay, it was close. Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Rounds. But what I'm saying is that there's no Wilder against lesser opponents like Washington. Let's not pretend that Washington is the elite opponent. He lost to Jarrell Miller. So let's keep it real.
Jarrell Miller, you better put some respect on Jarrell Miller. Hold up. Jarrell Miller's coming for all the belts.
Nah, man. Nah, lose all the belts.
Yeah, man. He's coming for all this.
Hey, stick up kids is out the tax.
Yeah, Miller's going for all the silver
titles. Stick up kids is out the tax.
You guys are making me cry, man. You're making me cry. Edge, man, your standards are too high for Wilder, bro. I'll be honest with you. When you see Wilder, they're too high, bro, because he knocked the guy once down. That's good enough. I'm expecting 5 knockdowns, and then you saw vintage windmill. I don't know what you expected, bro. You saw vintage windmill. You saw the windmill in effect, and then windmill in effect. You see man laying down.
Wilder heard the Staples Center's air conditioner wasn't working, so he started up the windmills.
Oh man, come on.
Wait.
Go ahead.
EJ.
Yeah.
Am I in the Twilight Zone? Like me, the Wilder hater, thinking too highly of a boxer.
Yeah, you are, man. Because you know what? He gave you. Wilder gave you what Wilder gave you.
You're now entering.
If you look at this, right? If you look at the styles, right? Fury gave what Fury does in terms of he did the same thing when he was doing the Klitschko, right? He probably was a bit more ambitious against Wilder, right? Consequently, that caused him to lay on his back. The styles blended beautifully in terms of what the two of them brang, what they brang, and that's what they did. Fury brang his Klitschko, the style he fought against Klitschko, and Wilder brang his herky-jerky vintage windmill. They brang it in, bro. That's what it is. And you got both guys who don't want to quit. They got a lot on the line. And the judges ruled it a draw. I think, to be honestly, boxing's a winner. The only thing I'm upset about, and that's the Adonis Stevenson situation in terms of, you know, in the long run, how's that affect boxing and Canada boxing? Because that's a good region. And Adonis Stevenson was holding that down because Pascal's no good. There's no Butte. Who's their next star out of Canada? You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, our sport's a world sport. It's like over here in England, we got AJ and all the others underneath. In America, you got Wilder. You know what I'm trying to say? Fury. In Ireland, they've got Fury. And
probably, they're probably the next guy if they can kind of, I don't know what's going on with his whole promotional thing, but I know Beterbia.
Well, he's not really a Canadian, so I'm not trying to market him though. That's another thing. He doesn't. Yeah, he doesn't really speak English that well, so
I'm
like,
reaching with that, but yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not even just English, but French too.
Yeah, Butey's not really Canadian as well. Butey's Romanian, ain't he?
He's Canadian.
He's like adopted.
Well, that's the because he.
No, but that's like Klitschko's not bloody German, but you know what I'm trying to say? That don't mean Kostu's not Australian. Kostu's not Australian.
Even if you're not necessarily in hometown, quote unquote,
you rep them. You rep the place.
Alexis Arguello didn't really have that, like a huge like home base following in Miami and Florida and all that stuff. But he got a lot of people like riding with him because of the fact that that's where he was built. And because of like all the communist shit going on and all that stuff, so he got a lot of the Cubans, supporting him and stuff down there.
Yeah, he was lied to. He speaks the Latin language, so that's another thing. So, but what I'm saying is that what I was going to say
like Boudet like integrated himself into the whole culture and stuff in Montreal, that area.
Yeah, right. And I agree with you on that one. I agree with EJ. At the end of the day, we regardless of how we felt about the result last night between Wilder and Fury, boxing won last night, and I think it won in the States, in my opinion. It won last night. The heavyweight division won last night as a whole. Yeah. Both Fury and Wilder put on the show that most of us didn't expect the outcome the way it did. But we're not too upset about it. We got a great fight. Controversial decision, yes. I see some people making comparison to Holyfield and Lewis. I'm like, nah, that's a bit reaching right there, the first fight. I was like, nah, that's a bit reaching. Because Holyfield didn't have much success in the first fight like Wilder did with Fury. At least Wilder got knockdowns against Fury, as opposed to Holyfield didn't even come close to knocking down or hurting Lennox Lewis in the first fight. So that was a bit reaching right there on that one. Somebody even compared this to somebody said that Fury was beating Wilder a lot easier than Klitschko.
Holyfield needed those Mackie Showstone shakes, man.
Yeah,
but also as well, how successful this will be is all depending on media perception as well. Because a lot of the top boxers are complaining. Lennox Lewis was pissed. He was freaking pissed, man. Like,
he was upset. I know.
Floyd Mayweather was pissed.
Why were they pissed for? Why they pissed? Why they
Andre Ward.
Why were they pissed?
Andre Ward.
Manalaji did what he was thinking. Was worried thinking about his job.
Why? Man, I can't even do my job right now. Like,
why were they upset? Why were they upset? Because their scorecards are wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
because they didn't agree with the decision.
Yeah, I did a draw. I had to fight a draw on my scorecard.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's why they were upset. So.
Wait a minute. One judge, that Alexander.
It was a lot of them, too. Gervonta Davis.
15-11.
Gervonta Davis didn't agree.
I don't know what. I know that judge. I don't agree with that judge there. I don't agree with that judge. I don't know what that judge was watching, because that fight was no way that scorecard.
Yeah, Alejandro Rochin scored it 7 rounds to fight for Wilder.
He gave the first 5 rounds to Wilder. Like, how the hell was he?
Umar did as well.
Yeah. But let me just say this. Let me just say this. Andre Ward. Let me talk about that, because Andre Ward said something about this too. I kind of have to call him out on this. I like Andre Ward. EJ knows I'm a big Andre Ward fan. Yeah. Andre Ward says, I don't think that Wilder's going to go through that situation with Fury again. I'm like, no, Andre, stop it, bro. You can't question Deontay's integrity, because remember, everybody accused you for getting a gift decision over Kovalev in the first fight. You should know how it's like, bro. If people would question your integrity and say that you weren't gonna go through that match with Kovalev again.
Yeah,
that's probably Ward just trying to put himself over Wilder in a.
No. But the difference is between that fight is that Ward won that fight, and Ward is better than Kovalev. Wilder's not better than Fury. That's the difference. There's a difference between the two. Wilder's not better than Fury. Okay. Wait. If Wilder and Fury have a rematch, you seriously telling me that Wilder's going to win? You seriously saying
I think it's going to. I'll tell you what. I think Wilder's going to knock him out this time. Yeah. I'm going to tell you why.
Yeah, tell him.
Because Wilder, let me tell you why. Deontay realized he made the mistakes. He's like, you know what? I was too anxious. I was too gun happy with my right. Yeah. I should have set up my shots a bit more. Yeah. I should have relied on my hooks. And believe it or not, he had some success with that left hook. He should have been doing more of that than relying on his right.
That's right.
And he was catching Fury with that left hook. He was catching him with those left hooks. He should have kept going with that.
I think Fury will come back in the rematch in better shape, and I'll box him easier.
You know what? EJ was right. I thought too highly of Wilder, and you guys are too. Yeah, the fact of the matter is, this we have seen this merry-go-round all the time.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
the difference is that he couldn't put away Fury. If he couldn't put him away with that shot, I don't think he can put him away again in a rematch like that. And I think
you don't think so. You don't think Tyson Fury is affected from that shot? You don't think it took him dead?
Look,
you don't think
he came back from the dead.
I don't think so, considering the fact that he rocked Wilder back in the exact same round.
He came back in from the dead.
Okay, let me tell you something.
He had Wilder hurt. He had Wilder more. He had Wilder just as hurt as he was in that round. At the end of that round, with that right hand left hook combo.
He came back from the dead.
Wilder grabbed a hold of him immediately.
Well, I think Wilder was stung from that shot. I agree with you on that, but I think he was more fatigued and tired because he put so much energy trying to knock him out, and he was tired. He didn't have nothing left in that round. So
I mean, he got clipped, and I thought he was hurt too. I mean, I'm sure it was a combination, but still.
Yeah, it was a combination of both. But let me just say this: I think that shot right there that he did to Fury took something out of Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury, from his body language, the way he was speaking, I thought he acknowledged that too. He even said himself. He said himself that I can see why Anthony Joshua avoided that Deontay Wilder right. I can see why he wanted no part of it. He said it.
Yeah.
This is what he said.
He said that.
This is what he said after the post-fight press conference. He doesn't remember 12th round. He doesn't remember the 12th round because he said, I was speaking to Jesus after that knockdown.
I think he's joking about that.
And that's why I think he's going to win the rematch, because he's got the Lord on his side.
But it actually tells you that Fury was probably fighting more on instinct.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he probably was. But that's why I think. But that's why I think that Fury's going to win the rematch. That's why I personally think that Wilder's going to go for AJ next. He's got out because the thing is, with the contract was a two-way. Fury said the contract was a two-way contract. If whoever won, it would have been an immediate rematch. But because it's a draw, it's an out. Wilder don't have to take that rematch anymore. So because of that, that's why that Fink can go in and negotiate a deal with Wilder to fight AJ in April. And that's what I think that they're going to do. And based on the conversations that they were saying, and based on what Wilder was saying, he says he rather has the AJ fight. That's why I think that's what they're gonna go and do. And if I was them, for a business standpoint, it makes more sense. It makes more sense because, like what you guys said, AJ's the easier fight. So why would you take that fight for all the belts?
Well, here's the problem. Here's the problem with that. If you have the lineal championship, you have more leverage at the negotiation table. So
that's not a belt. That's nothing. That's like
I know that, but it's a status. It's a status as if you are the recognized heavyweight champion of the world. That's a status that you should have. So you still have leverage with that status, with that recognition, bro. You know that.
But Wilder wants the one face, one name. This is all what he's talked about. That's his whole MO. One face, one name, and that's what he wants. He said it in the press conference. He said it. He said he rather wants the AJ fight rather than Tyson Fury rematch because one face, one name. That's what he wants. He said it in the press conference.
People say stuff. They change their mind, man, all the time. Come on, everyone knows.
They do, exactly.
Yeah, that don't mean you can't. You can't.
He said whatever makes him the most money. This is what he's gonna do.
Thank you. That's it. That's it. Frank, go ahead, Daniel.
Yeah, that's a good point.
No, and this is where I think AJ could probably get into it. Barry Hearn outed himself today because when he tweeted out that, remember, he's 1-9, like the $50 million offer didn't exist. But he said, I'm glad I didn't take that $50 million offer because I would have been robbed. I'm like, so you're admitting that an offer was made and that you rejected it.
No, we all know the offer was made, but it's a fake offer.
This is not a fake offer. Get out of here.
It's Hey, you guys admitted it.
Go to the matchroom, Mr. Ben saying this.
The guy from Showtime said that if you see an offer coming out in the public, that means it's normally not a real offer. So how many executives from Showtime has to come out and admit it before you guys finally get the message? It wasn't a real offer.
That's true. That's like all these people claiming. It's like all these people claiming that fucking Bob Arum personally called Angel Garcia and offered $3 million. Get the fuck out of here, man! Like fucking Bob Arum is the fucking bastion of honesty. All of a sudden.
I know that you don't like Bob Arum. I know you don't, man. But it's all good.
No. It's not even that I dislike Bob Arum. I just don't trust trust his ass
Yeah,
because
exactly.
he's a liar.
Yeah.
He's a proven liar.
Like Eddie Hearn does. Like Eddie Hearn be lying. Yeah, Edge believe you believe everything he says.
Earl Spence called out Bob Arum.
Come on, man.
Everybody lies, man. Every promoter, man.
Thank you.
Everybody got called out.
But there's liars and there's like fucking serial liars. There's people that like they lie, like lying is like breathing to them. They'll lie about what they had for breakfast this morning for no fucking reason.
Yeah, but let's be real though. Let's be real though. The Wilder Fury fight really took a lot of steam out of AJ's next fight. Now, I'm just being honest. I don't think anybody's gonna keep fights at this point until he fights one of those two guys. I'm being real.
What's that
AJ.
again?
Yeah. I don't think nobody's really going to care too much who he fights next unless he fights one of those two.
And that's why I'm saying they're gonna. That's why I'm saying that it's gonna be Wilder and AJ next in April now. That's why I fully believe that's gonna happen now because the pressure's on. It's a draw, so that means that Wilder can get out of that fight. They're gonna offer him a lot more money because they said that that Wilder earned in total, including pay-per-views and everything, $14 million.
Well, they say he could get as high as 20, depending on the back end and other stuff too.
No. They're saying that's altogether total because you have to set.
What about ticket revenue? Is that included?
Yeah. Ticket revenue. Ticket revenue is the least of the thing, but they're saying that overall the pay-per-views buys, that's the total amount they're going to be getting.
That don't make no sense.
With Fury and that
don't make no sense
Fury
though.
as well.
That don't make no sense though. The most vulnerable guy in that fight was obviously, it was Tyson Fury. He was the most vulnerable. He went on his back twice. And if you're looking at AJ, you're like, I want that guy because AJ,
no. He wants the belt. So he wants to unify. He wants the belt.
No, he's got the belt. He's got the linear belt. That's the belt he got. He got the linear belt. What's up, low place?
No, but fighters like
that's the real belt, man. The linear belt is more important than the other belts. Go ahead, low place.
No. I mean, all right, maybe to you, but
no, it's to everyone else.
Invisible belt. It's an invisible belt.
No, it's not invisible. No, it's not. No, it's not. What are you talking about? What are you talking about invisible?
What, you're gonna base? I mean, if our commercial partners are gonna base their commercials on invisible belts.
Hold on. Why is it? So Fury, you trying to say Fury came in with a made up belt? Is that what you're saying? So he didn't beat Vladimir. He didn't beat Vladimir, right? He didn't beat Vladimir. All right. So let me ask you a belt. What was you? So what was the belt John L. Sullivan was carrying on Jack Johnson? What belt were they carrying? What belt were they carrying? So you don't understand linear belt. Exactly, linear belt. You don't understand boxing, so you know what I mean. That's more important.
What does the linear belt look like? What does the linear belt look like?
It's the Ring magazine. It's the Ring magazine decides. Yeah, it's the sports writers. All the sports writers agree that that's how it came together. All the sports writers, newspapers.
It's the same belt that the great Rocky Balboa took from Apollo
Creed, exactly.
You guys are clowning.
But let me just say, you just said,
oh yeah, can I back Rocky next?
It's Adonis now.
Rocky's still the lineal champion.
You gotta fight Adonis next, man.
Ezra, you just said Tyson Fury is the #1 heavyweight in the world, correct? You just said that, right?
Yeah.
Who has the lineal status? Fury.
No. I'm agreeing with you that as in Fury's the lineal champion, but I'm just saying to you, from a business standpoint, from a marketing standpoint, I know, look, people don't like that, but that's how it is at the end of the day. Like you see what happened with Stevenson, at the end of the day, they're going for the strategy was going to work out best for them down the line. And Fury said himself, he wants Fury next. He didn't say nothing about, I want to fight the rematch because I really want that lineal title. Do you know what I mean? They didn't say none of that shit. He said he wanted one face, one name.
He said,
that's what he's fighting. Why do you think he's fighting?
He said it makes more sense, I'll take the rematch immediately. That's what Wilder said. Of course they're going to offer to take the rematch.
They asked him if he had a choice now, because of the draw, he doesn't have to fight the rematch. So and Eddie Hearn said he's going to offer this week for a fight in April. So he said, if you've got a choice between fighting a rematch with Fury and AJ, what would you do? And then he said, I'd rather fight AJ because he wants
depending on the offer.
Depending
on the offer. Okay, depending on the offer.
Yeah, but if it's the same offer, one's offer's both the same, he'll go for AJ. That's what he said.
So, he ain't going for AJ. We know that.
I'm just saying, that's what Wilder said, mate. That's what Wilder said. What can I say? You know what I mean? He said it.
Bro, here we go again. So here we go. Someone said it, Edge, and Edge just jumped on the sword. Let me tell you something, Edge. Let me tell you something. Yeah? boxing, the linear belt, the linear belt, right? The linear belt. You can only get the linear belt when you win a certain amount of belts. Now, what I'm trying to say to you is that if you're trying to say that belt don't mean it, and then what's the point? Why does anyone want Fury? They understand what everyone understands. That belt there, that's a leg. When you have that belt, that means you're the very. But that's what it means, bro. It's a very important belt. But all the other belts are important. But that belt's the oldest belt, and you linear. Obviously, like a bloodline, you can go straight down with it, and you know you was a part of that line. That Fury is a part of that line. Everyone knows that. Wilder, that's why Wilder wanted that, because Wilder wants to be a part of that line. That's the whole point.
Yeah, he wants his name to be mentioned with the greats.
Yeah, with the lineage. Exactly. Yeah, if you're the lineage, you are the recognized heavyweight champion.
You can't visible belt. It's not visible.
The Tyson's. Yeah, Tyson's Holyfields. Go ahead.
Yeah, but the McGregor boxing had a good point. He said that he's not really the linear, because he said that going back to O'Sullivan, he said that's not correct, because it's something that happened back.
We're not talking McGregor.
Right, of course. I mean, the lineage was eventually broken, but then.
Yeah. He said so. It's not really technically.
Let McGregor. I corrected him. He didn't. No, hold on. I corrected him. He didn't know what he was talking about. I had to show him something, yeah, because this was saying you're going off McGregor, and I had to show McGregor. So how you gonna learn off McGregor? And I told McGregor.
No.
Basically, so let me tell you where it's broke. Hold up. Let me tell you where it was broke.
Google that shit.
Yeah, Google that. Let me tell you where it was broke. He was talking about when Gene Tunney gave up the belt, right? When Gene Tunney retired, right? That was the lineage stop right there when Gene Tunney. But what happened after that? There was a sequence of champions after that, and Joe Louis, unanimously.
Lennox was that old?
Yeah. Joe Louis, by all the sports writers and newspapers, yeah, regardless of, because he beat all the champions at the time, yeah, and when he kept it about, they regarded him as the champion at the time, even though you had Max Schmeling and all the other guys there, they regarded him as, because the newspapers, they all really agreed. The lineage, yeah, goes down to all the guys unanimously agree, all the sports writers, Fat Dan and all them people, that this guy is a champion. Like, even though Vladimir never got the WBC belt, they considered him as the guy, the number one guy at the thing, and he had the linear belt, even though he didn't collect the WBC belt.
Well, it's because he was wiping out pretty much all the.
But all the sports writers came together and agreed that even though he didn't.
Well, because he beat Peter in the ring.
See, look at Edge yawning on this shit. Look at Edge yawning on this stuff like he don't value Fury. Why do you think they want to fight Fury? Because they know how Fury is important, bro.
No. They wanted to fight Fury because that's the biggest fight they could have.
No, wait, see, because he beat Vladimir, you dunce. Because he beat Vladimir, you dunce. What's wrong with you? You dumb. Ed is funny. Ed, you're funny.
That's what they said.
Ed, you're funny. Ed, you're funny.
They said that, but also the point is the lineage is also important. That's an important status, man. Why you think they wanted that fight? It's not just because it was the biggest money they could make. It was the fact that they could get that linear stats. The linear stats.
Okay, let's be real. Let's be real.
When you have that status,
we are being real. That's the whole point. We are being real, Edge.
Let's be real here.
No, we are Edge. We are.
I like to talk about business a lot, because business and boxing is two in the same. Yeah. If Wilder went and knocked out Fury, someone in the car.
Yeah, that's me.
Dan's getting carjacked over there, man.
I'll get carjacked. Go ahead.
Hey, I'm gonna call the police on Fury's robbery, and I'll call the police on your robbery as well. What was I gonna say? I forgot what I was gonna say, man.
Yeah, I know it wasn't important, bro. Don't worry about it. Yeah, it wasn't important. But what I'm saying is right. Boxing is in a good place, right? Because they're in a good place, and now the heavyweight division is still firmly some out. But right now, this is a battle of territories. And people want to control the division. Eddie Hearn wants to keep the money in the UK with Joshua, and I think Fury might base himself in America. I think he might truly base himself in America. It's like, fuck it, America gave me love. How about we just go back down there? You know where he's gonna fight? He's gonna fight in Boston. Boston, that's where he's gonna fight next, bro. He's gonna fight in Boston, or he's gonna fight in New York. Because if
New York would make more sense, to be honest with you.
Well, you got the Irish in New York and the Irish in Boston. That's enough, bro. That's where he needs to go. So,
but I mean, even aside from the Irish, though, I mean, I think Fury's a well-known name enough that he crosses over.
He's crossed over. I think he crossed over already. Base, you know? What do you guys think the pay-per-view buy is going to do? I think how much was the pay-per-view buy? How much was it? £60? $60? What was it?
For us,
it was
75.
74. It was $75 HD and 65 standard definition. So
yeah,
it's a lot of money, man.
I think he roughly did about 250, maybe close to 300,000. If it got over,
I would say that's a fair estimate too. I mean,
yeah.
I'd go a little bit lower, maybe 200 to 225.
That's decent,
like
though.
Like I said, that's around the
Okay, so what would you?
They're actually expecting that. Steven Espinosa, the Showtime, expecting about 200,000 buys. That's what they were looking for. So
yeah. Well, because you got to think, they're both of them are debutantes to fucking pay-per-view. They've never been on it before. They've never done pay-per-view before either of them. So
okay, so let's look at this. Yeah, who is the okay? Let's look at this. Who is the king of pay-per-views in the States? HBO or Showtime?
Nobody.
I mean, I wouldn't even say there's a king of pay-per-views necessarily.
Okay, who do you think are the most experienced in pay-per-views then? Showtime or HBO?
Well, I mean, HBO has more experience overall, but
yeah. All right. So when they put on Triple G pay-per-view and they did 150 buys, they said it was shit. They said it was rubbish. So you're telling me that?
Well, a lot of that goes because Triple G had more of a media machine behind him than either Wilder or Fury. Wilder and Fury both have only really just kind of barely, with this fight, kind of come across in terms of being promoted in the media and commercials and like talk shows and things of that nature. Triple G had been kind of pushed. He had been pushed like for at least over a year before that had even happened, and he had never really managed to break through that glass.
Yeah, but this is
even that. When they priced out the pay-per-view, they priced it out to be cheaper than the pay-per-view because they wanted those guys.
That's true, actually. Yeah.
And also, so you have to take into consideration then is that number one that you're saying that he marketed it in for a year and he still did 150,000. And now this one, they marketed it for a lesser period of time.
For like a couple of months, maybe. Really.
Exactly. For a lesser period of time. And you're saying that this pay-per-view was more expensive than the Triple G one, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
But even then though, like I know a lot of people that are super fucking casual. Well, they hardly pay attention to any boxing or any combat sport really.
Well, I think the reason why this pay-per-view
they were talking about these two guys.
Yeah, let me just say this. I think the reason why this pay-per-view is going to do more than Triple G because these are heavyweights. Traditionally heavyweight boxing in America has always been big. It's always been bigger than any other division.
Well, and it crosses over into the casual audience too, because they know at the end of the day they're watching two guys. I mean, they call it stupid or call it, whatever you want to call it. A lot of people are just I guess like prejudiced in terms of size or whatever. But they know that the two guys in the ring could beat them and their whole family and eat their children and all that shit. Like they're
yeah.
Well, I got that far, but
they're on that shit. You know what I mean? They know that they're watching two bad motherfuckers that like you can't fuck with them. So that almost touches on a nerve that's like something else entirely, aside from other boxing.
Yeah, you know what? It's all about weight.
They're not going in there expecting like some fucking Floyd Mayweather versus Shane Mosley shit, or that's probably not a good example. Floyd Mayweather versus Carlos Baldomir shit. They're going in there expecting to see two big motherfuckers do some lion versus bear shit, some gladiatorial arena shit. They're expecting some explosive to happen.
But this is what I'm thinking. Yeah, this is what I'm thinking. I'm gauging the pay-per-views based on like potential list of opponents. Yeah, you want to make Wilder into a pay-per-view star.
He's a pay-per-view star. He's a pay-per-view star. He is right now. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, we gotta wait for the numbers.
The numbers are gonna be good. The numbers are gonna be good, man.
Yeah, but I'm optimistic about that though. I think they will both will be.
Let's say Steven Espinosa says 250,000. If this fight does 250,000, does that make Wilder a pay-per-view star?
Yeah. Well, and here's the thing. Not only because of the number itself, but because of how much, like, in the aftermath of the fight, how much people are already talking about it, how many articles there are about it, even in just the mainstream media and shit like that. I think if they were to do, like I said earlier, if they were to do a rematch, or even if they were to like fight, say, on the same card but separate opponents, and put that on pay-per-view, that'll be big. Yeah. They'll do just as many, if not more, numbers on that, even if they're not fighting each other. Just putting their names on the same poster will do that.
Yeah, what I would class as a pay-per-view star is someone that can constantly fight on pay-per-view. and do big pay-per-view numbers.
Well, let me ask you this, Edge.
Well, I mean, it's got to start somewhere though, too. Like, I mean, when Mayweather first fought Gaddy, like before that, you couldn't say that he was a pay-per-view star. But after coming back and seeing how well it did and how he performed as well, you could say that, oh yeah, he's pretty much about to be a pay-per-view star now.
Right. Yeah. Let me ask you a question. When AJ fought Dillian White on pay-per-view, and a lot of people were arguing that should not have been a pay-per-view fight in the beginning. I did. Yeah. It turned out a very good fight. It did pretty well. It did over 500,000 bucks. Did that make AJ a pay-per-view star after that?
No.
Didn't? Really?
No. Because that's one fight. You can't make someone a pay-per-view star after one fight, because if he
why? What are you talking about? Edge. Stop it.
No.
Stop. I never heard that before.
No. Look at listen to my point quickly. If Wilder, let's say Wilder and Fury, Wilder and Fury, they do 250 buys. So you're saying he's a pay-per-view star after that. If he goes and fights, let's say the fight with Fury can't happen, so he has to go and fight his mandatory Dominic Brazil. Yeah. And that does 100,000, 50,000 buys. For me, that's not a pay-per-view star.
Yeah, but for you, but it doesn't matter what you think. When they pay-per-view, their money. If you talk business, so let me understand your business. You become a pay-per-view buy, and then you fight a bum. You fight a kind of like a debutant, whatever. Bruv, you still pay-per-view, you still Mayweather. Exactly. When Mayweather fought bum, some guys, we didn't want to see it, but he's a pay-per-view star. People have the choice not to buy, but then it depends on the promotion. You understand what I'm saying? Because you can fight a bum. It depends on the promotion, how they build the fight, and how the fans have interest. Because fans will just buy it. Because you don't want to buy it. You've got a wholly casual audience, who just seen the man fight against Fury. Man is saying they're gonna have him against some guy. Let's say Kaneki. Right? No one knows who Kaneki is, but they're gonna give Wilder against Kaneki. We know is, bro. When that promotion kicks in, you know people are gonna be on it, bro. If they're gonna, you can sell anything. A paper. I mean, you mentioned the word star, but it's just, are they a pay-per-view fight? There's no star by it. They either are or they're not. When you become pay-per-view, that means your money at that point stays at that point and it goes upwards. The only time it goes down is, i.e., if you lose or I know something happens to you. But from this point onwards, their money's rise. That's why they're happy, because now at this point they can dictate certain things. And Wilder's got his own promotion, innit? It was Bomb Squad Promotions he had going on as well. Bro, their money's gonna stay at that level, Edge. There's nothing you can do or buy. That's the way it is. You know what I mean?
But this is what I'm saying. The money is good. That's what I mean. Once you get that kind of money, he's gonna be wanting to get that kind of money consistently now.
Yeah, he can.
And are you telling me?
Great fighters.
Are you telling me, like, okay, for example, AJ will get 20 million no matter who he fights. He will fight a mandatory.
He's fighting Bob Tacken. Let me ask you a question. AJ and Tacken, was that pay-per-view? That should have been a pay-per-view. Should have been pay-per-view.
No, what
about Pulif? What about Pulif? AJ and Pulif. No. Should that be a pay-per-view?
What? Sorry?
AJ and Pulif, should that be pay-per-view?
No.
What about AJ and that guy he just fought recently? What's his name? Povetkin. Should that have been a pay-per-view? What did?
Yeah, no,
why no? He shouldn't. No, hell, he shouldn't.
No. But listen.
No way, man. That old Rusky, he didn't do shit. He didn't do shit. You don't speak nothing.
No. But I believe AJ's a pay-per-view star because he can sell. He sells.
Listen. How pay-per-view come is? Look at when they break into the market. They need a dance partner. That's how you get in there. He had Dillian White as a dance partner, and when you get in there, you stay there. So you can fight bums, debutant. It doesn't matter who AJ fights at this point. Man's gonna watch him. It doesn't matter. Dwayne's gonna fork out, and Dwayne's going down there, gunning, cussing, but Dwayne's going down there. That's the way it is. Wilder's that level where wherever Wilder fights, at a certain level, people are coming to see him. It's the same with Fury. That's the way it is. That's the way the market goes.
Is he gonna get that kind of money against Dominic Brazil? He fights it next.
Bro, people will pay out if it's a fucking good fight. You know, people gonna pay their money, Edge. That's what it is. Edge, people gonna pay their money. They're gonna pay their money. You're not getting as much. You're not getting as much as you find another guy who brings in, let's say, another pay-per-view star. When you go together, now that's more money, right? But if you're the main guy and the other guy's in, you're still the main draw. Yeah, so he's basically getting crumbs off your table. So that's the way it is. That's what it's about, bro. It's always been about that one. When you're the draw. You know, and that's the way it is until they lose. You know what I mean? Bernard Hopkins fought this guy, Maurice Hacker, right? He just beat Felix Trinidad, yeah? And he had this fight against this guy, Maurice Hacker. Bruh, this guy was whack, bruh. I mean, it was a whack-ass fight with Bernard Hopkins. People paid money to watch it. And he had another one against, I think it was Dave Allen as well. Was it not Dave Allen? Thingy Allen. Rob Allen. that was another one. I know Edge is above. This is above your head, yeah, but it's all good, yeah. What I'm trying to say is that people pay money to see Bernard Hopkins in a pay-per-view thing, and that's what in America people cussing, thinking the box are rubbing us, yeah, because all these are pay-per-view and some of these didn't deserve to be pay-per-view. But it's the same with Eddie Hearn right now. He's just saturating the market with big pay-per-views that don't deserve to be pay-per-view. But you know what we're gonna do? We still gonna pay it. Well, I mean, I ain't paying shit. I'm streaming right now, so. I've been streaming for a minute, but like now it says, yeah. I like to support the fighters though.
He's counteracting the whole argument.
No. But I like to support the fighters, no. But I like to support the fighters, so I buy quite a few of the pay-per-views. I do.
Hey, listen, I
I've been streaming recently, but I buy them though. I'm not gonna lie, Edge. I buy them because I look at the card and think, yeah, can I buy? I tried to buy the BT one, right? But they said you had to go on the website, you had to subscribe, and I'm saying I don't want to be a BT thing. I'm on Sky, I don't want to be no BT, so I didn't buy it. But if it was easy for me buying Sky, Edge, I would have bought the pay-per-view. I would have bought it. Trust me. It was.
Hey, I want to get a question quick. I want to know. Yeah. Do you guys think that Joe Joyce can beat Luis Ortiz?
No, I had Joe Joyce look shit. Destiny said he looked white. Go ahead, Daniel.
Nah, I was gonna say nah. I don't think so. Not yet. I think another fight too, maybe, but not now. No.
They won that fight next. They're next.
I know they do. I know they want it, but I don't think they can beat Ortiz. I just don't see it right now, man. That's a totally different dangerous style for Joe Joyce right now. Dangerous style.
Hi, Big Baby fight.
What's up?
Big Baby won't fight him though.
Big Baby won't fight him.
No.
That's why Big Baby won't fight him. Big Baby looks at him as a step backwards, but
I don't know. I
think that'll be a good matchup. To be honest, I'm not even gonna lie.
Ortiz said yes when they asked if he wanted to fight him next, but I don't think he doesn't understand English. I don't think he was just like, yeah.
No, I think
he's Spanish, because he's Spanish. That's why. He was about English. Daniel Mike sounds a bit. You know what I'm saying again? Daniel, what you say?
No, what I said was that they asked Ortiz who they want to fight next among Wilder or Fury, not overall.
Okay.
No. They were interviewing Joe Joyce on IFL, and Luis Ortiz was walking past with his wife and his child.
Was his wife?
Right? Yeah, wife or girlfriend. I don't know who it was. And it was like Joe Joyce was like, "Would you fight me?" And he was like, "Yeah, of course." And they shook hands or whatever.
They shook hands on it. It was like, "Yeah, you'll fight." But I don't think he understood what he was saying. Therefore, he went, "Hey, good fight." And it was like, "Yes, of course."
Oh, you're deep. Edge is deep. He's Spanish. He's Spanish. He understands. He's Spanish. He understands. But you think this, yeah? If you was on a desert island, Edge, yeah, and someone was Spanish, you don't think you'd be able to communicate? You don't need to speak their language to understand someone. You know, you got body language. I don't understand your verbal language. There's other ways to communicate.
It was the same thing with Povetkin and Dillian White. They said fight, and he went yes, and then he was like, oh, he didn't. I guess he didn't really understood what I meant in regards.
But you know what? Different countries mean different things because one word means something to you, another means to them, and people get confused, innit? You know what I mean? So,
yeah. But like, I don't. But do you guys think that fight's gonna happen? I don't think it's gonna happen.
Which one?
I think it is because
Ortiz and Joyce.
Ortiz is going to be high and dry. Who's going to fight him next?
Let me remember the fight. Ortiz and Fury. That's the one, bro.
They ain't fighting next.
That's a good
Fury
fight.
Ortiz,
that's a good fight. I like that fight. But you don't think it's a good fight?
It's a good fight, but I don't think Fury's fighting him next. I just think Fury's going after a Wilder rematch.
Alright.
I think Fury's just going to go after the Wilder rematch. I can't see him fighting Ortiz next.
Let's just say what happens then when Wilder and AJ happen in April. So I think that's what's going to happen next.
Who is Fury? Fury's going to be in April, bro. Fury and AJ in April. That's what I think. Go ahead, I'm listening.
Fury and AJ. You think it's going to be Fury and AJ in April?
Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah. Because if I'm looking at who's weaker, who I prefer, and it's much easier to make the fight. Eddie Hearn, Frank Warren, that dynamic already. Then it's easy. They're both in fucking England. Then you look at Fury's been down twice, and he's a boxer. You can look at him and think, boy, I could take him. All I gotta do is fucking let him do his bullshit and just time him and take him out. I can do it in Wembley in front of everyone, and I become I'll take Fury. Fury's the easier guy. I'll take Fury. AJ be looking, I'll take him, mate, all day. He's the easier one than Wilder. Fuck Wilder. Ain't no one trying to fight no Wilder, man.
Nah.
Wilder's hard. Hey, bro, let me tell you something. When you're matchmaking, let me tell you. When you're matchmaking, hold on. If you're matchmaking, you want to fight Fury you don't want to fight thing, bro. You just don't want to fight fucking Wilder. It's too much, bro. Listen, he's so fucking clumsy, yeah, bro. Something will hit you and you're just out, bro. Fury, look at Fury. Listen, no man. Listen, let me tell you this, right? No man, apart from Bermain Stefan, even him, right? Even him in that first fight, he went down. Every man that he's ever faced has hit the dirt there, bro. Every man that guy's gone in with. Every man. Fury twice in a fight. He never been down twice in a fight. Once he went down, right? But twice, nah, bro. That's not the guy you want to face. If you're matchmaking, you're looking at Fury, because Fury's, you know, Fury comes with his little bullshit, moving around and all that shit, hitting and this and that, bro. You know, if AJ lands one on him, you know Fury's gonna be doomed. But AJ will go in. AJ will go in. AJ's, like you said, Dwayne said, he's got a better infighting game. AJ will take Fury. So I think Fury and AJ will be the one. That's what you do. That's what I do.
You're forgetting one thing though. You're forgetting one big thing.
Go on, tell me.
The elephant in the room. Go on. It's Barry Hearn and Frank Warren. Yeah.
They want Fury though.
That's the big elephant in the room.
They wanted Fury. No, they wanted Fury all the time. They wanted Fury all the time because the only thing is that we were saying why you want Fury. He's a cokehead, but he's proven himself not to be a cokehead. So now we can legit. He's legit. That's why Frank Warren's so happy, because they legitimized him, proving that he went 12 rounds with the guy that no one goes 12 rounds with, and they took that scalp and they took that sort of confidence. They're like, bro, now we can go to the table and let's do the April date. Cause trust me, everyone's looking for that date, bro. You think Wilder don't want that date? He wants that date. Fury wants that date. Everyone wants that. Cause that's the biggest payday. That's the biggest payday that they're gonna get it, right? So now who do you, if you're thingy, right, Barry Hearn, yeah, so you're looking at the winner out of Derek Chisora and Dillian White as the guy you want, bro. That's not what I want. You're looking at a guy that I can beat and he means something. That's Fury. Fury's the easiest guy, bro. That's the way you go.
I think it's Wilder's the easiest guy, man.
What?
Yeah, he knocked down. What? He knocked down Fury. He knocked down Fury.
Did you hear what I said though? Did you hear what I said though?
Huh?
Did you hear what every man in there that he's faced has been hitting the dirt, bro? Every man in there. Why would you face that guy?
No, because how am I looking at it? It's like, yeah, they were outboxing him until he got hit. So if I'm AJ, I'm thinking I'm betting all those guys.
No,
I won't get hit like that.
Bro, you're funny. You get someone killed. Edge.
AJ doesn't move like Fury. You got look. How many times we got to tell you he doesn't move like that? He's not as quick on his feet. He's very robotic. He's stiff. He lacks the head movement. He doesn't move like him.
Yeah, and
that's a totally different style, man. That's tailor-made for Deontay Wilder. I'm telling you right now, it's tailor-made.
It's tailor-made for AJ.
Edge, you're gonna get someone killed. Edge, you're gonna get someone hurt, bro. You're gonna get someone hurt. Let me tell you something, yeah. You're gonna get someone killed. If you're matchmaking, you're gonna get people killed. The guy you face, yeah. Fury's awkward, but listen to this. Tell me not. Is AJ not a body puncher, and a vicious body puncher at that? He is. He's a body puncher. He's very good at close. All the things that Fury has trouble with, because when Fury tries to tie you up, that's when AJ goes to work. If
AJ hits Wilder to the body, he'll break his ribs.
Wilder won't give him a chance to go inside. He won't give him a chance to go inside.
You know what? Edge. Let him throw one to the body and let's see who lands first, bro. Let's see who lands first. You're a funny dude.
Look, on a serious note, we need to petition for this fight. AJ Wilder.
Nah, I want Fury. I want the Fury fight. I want Fury to fight. It's an easier fight to make. And you know Frank Warren's been good. Frank Warren, Eddie Hearn on Sky, fucking talking shit against each other with their guy, with Fury talking shit on AJ.
Well,
are you nuts, bro? That is fucking some shit, bro. And you know,
you know what though, AJ, I agree with you on that. But you know, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be that bidding war between BT Sport and Sky Sports.
No. You know what? Hold up. You know what? Both of them have it on their networks. It's not a problem, bro. It's not a problem. Yeah, and you know what? Because I agree. See, there's no problem with this, bro. This fight can happen. Both can have it on the network. Because look, listen to me, right? Barry Hearn and Barry Hearn and Frank Warren, they deal with each other. It's the son what gets in the nerves. So Eddie don't want to deal with fucking Frank doesn't want to deal with Eddie. All he does is call Barry, say, what's going on, mate? You right? What's going on, mate? You alright? Because you're right. The other day we was on the radio. I know we was getting on stupid, but well, do you want to make some money then? Alright then, fucking, let's sit down. I'll see you tomorrow. Let's have some crumpet. Let's sort out the logistics. These guys have been business together for fucking years, bro. They've been business together years before Edgener even conceived of boxing. Them man will sit down, right, and make a deal where both of them gonna be fine, because they don't want to deal with the Americans. Because what it happens is that, again, you gotta remember, I'm trying to say that the UK wants to keep the heavyweight championship in the UK. So at the end of the day, why would you give it to America? They want to keep it in the UK. Fury's there, and Barry's like confident that AJ will beat him. He's like, fuck it, of course we beat him. Of course we beat him. Frank's confident. They're gonna do it, bruh. I'm telling you, it's easy, bruh. It's not a problem. It's not a problem at all. I think that fight gets done, and it gets sided and stilled early for Fury, because with Fury, like you mentioned, yeah, he gets out of shape and stuff like that. So what you want to do, you want to make sure that that's there for him in April, so he stays in shape and he doesn't fucking blow up. Because that's the one, man. That's what he called him out. Didn't he call him out in the fucking post fight? What did he say AJ? What did he say about he yelled AJ's name out, right? So why wouldn't it happen?
Because they want Wilder. AJ said to Eddie Hearn, I want Wilder next.
That don't make no sense.
Wilder said to his team, he wants AJ next. They both want each other next.
Oh, man.
They both want the belt.
Wilder lost his opportunity.
Let me just say, I think Barry Hearn is going to shut both Wilder and Fury out, and let me tell you why. Because he even said himself that matchup depends on AJ's success and his financial power right now.
Yeah. So
they have a system run. They're going to long this out as long as they can. They're not going to make that fight happen right now.
Thank you.
With either one of them, they're not going to do it.
Really? Fury?
It's not going to happen.
Yeah, but Fury didn't. Yeah, but Fury didn't look. He didn't look scary. If I was at the two of them, Fury looked less scary. Go on his back, man. Why wouldn't it happen?
The pressure's on AJ now. The pressure's on AJ.
Really?
They said we're gonna wait until December the 1st.
Yeah.
December the 1st, then we're gonna go back to their team and make an offer. They got to make an offer. They got to make something that's gonna try to attempt to do it. Shelly Finkel said they're willing to make it. They might even make an offer to their team. They want this fight to happen. They want the plan was for them to beat Fury and then negotiate to fight AJ next. That was the plan. Mm-hmm. But it's a draw. So the draw gets them out of that situation.
No, it doesn't. Not really. It doesn't get them out of it. Because it's still be fresh. No, let me tell you why it doesn't. Because nobody won the fight, nor no one lost. Now there's a lot of demand to make the rematch between Wilder and Fury to happen at this point, man. So
can the WBC force it? Can the WBC force it?
They can. They can, because Frank Warren says we're going to petition that, and they're going to go to the WBC and enforce it.
Yeah, but the pressure is going to be on. But that's why they have to fight AJ. That's the only way they can get out of it. And then what's going to happen is they're going to fight AJ, because that's the easier fight. And then if Wilder beats AJ, then they're going to fight Fury next for all the belts. And then for the lineal championship in Las Vegas. In Las Vegas for the end of the year, Cinco de Mayo, not Cinco de Mayo, the other Mexican holiday. Do you know what I mean? They'll just do it in September. They'll do it in September in Las Vegas.
Hey, you know what? I'll tell you one thing. That the zone bullshit is whack, you know. Because you know what? I'm just going to be real with you. Because you see Eddie Hearn, yeah? If Eddie Hearn controls boxing... Listen. If Eddie Hearn controls boxing, right? Boxing's in a terrible place. That just shows you when two guys had enough of the bullshit, the what do you call it? The corporate bullshit, and that's what they are, not corporate, right? Boring corporate bullshit, right. and you just had two guys just laying it down, put themselves and took their own lives and put them in there. That's what you saw. You saw an exciting fight for the boxing world, and stop all this politics bullshit, all this politics stuff. Yeah, it's fuckeries. Yeah, all right. Look, AJ's the fight's got a fight in April, right? The date's there, Wembley Stadium's there for whoever wants to negotiate. Yeah, but at the end of the day, yeah, people should look at it right now. And then all this bullshit politics with Golden Boy and all these things there, all these people are stopping all these fucking great fights from happening, because our sport is probably one of the best sports in the world. But at the end of the day, You need the two guys in the division to fight, and then you can have number one. The bottom line is what you saw happen tonight, and especially the end of the year, it's left us in a good space, man. It's apart from Adonis Stevenson, we want Adonis Stevenson to recover and you know, wish him well. But other than that, yeah, boxing's in a good space, because a couple of weeks ago, people were thinking of leaving boxing. A lot of people thinking like, bro, I don't have my channel, boxing's boring. Even me, I was looking at the roster and I was like, bro, but this fight, you done really good for boxing, man. It's really good, and
it did.
And you know, it's live and never went up. It's live and never went up, man. Real good energy coming off that thing, man.
I think the problem is that I think, you know, that the worry is that the backlash is from the controversial decision. I think that the challenge is that if people that are disgruntled based on that decision are going to end up wanting to pay for a rematch.
Exactly. That's a good. They will. They want it. That's the whole thing, and that's what EJ is talking about.
But whether they will do. Because a lot of people say I'm not buying it. A lot of people are saying I'm not buying it. They're doing it.
They say they want the rematch. No. They say they're gonna buy it. They say we want that rematch now. They want it. They're not walking away from it. They're not angry about it. They're like, they're not. A
lot of people are angry, mate. I'm looking.
Well, no. I mean, you know, let me take that back. Let me take it back. They are angry about the decision, yes, but it's not. It's not angering them enough to walk away from the sport. No. They still want the fight because it was a damn good fight either way. Despite the decision, despite how you felt about it, it was still a damn good fight. They got their money's worth. They do want to see the rematch. Didn't get the result.
But
fine. Let's run it back. Let's run it back and do it again. Yeah.
Are they going to pay? That's the question. They will pay. They want to see it again. But they'll pay.
They'll pay for it.
Yeah,
they will. They'll pay for it.
You seem confident, man.
Yeah, because they will pay for it, because he's American. He knows, man.
I don't pay for it.
He's American. He knows because he knows his market, bro. This is what I'm saying. Like,
I know my market.
We know our market, bro. He knows his market. If he said Dan knows his shit, he ain't no bro. If they don't gonna pay for it, he knows. Him and Nauta, remember the fights in their backyard, you know. The fight was in their backyard. They know the logistics, man. Then Dan ain't gonna come out here and say nah. It's like, you know, over here, like, you know the numbers over here. You know them pretty well. But should I say, you know Eddie Hearn's numbers? Should I say?
Hey man, I know the numbers.
Yeah, I can't believe you was quoting McGregor to come about stats about that's not the linear, because McGregor said something. I was like, what?
No. I was fucking funny. Sure. So I said, did Conor McGregor say something?
Conor McGregor now, was it Conor McGregor was talking about boxing, or was it McGregor boxing stars? Which one was it?
Yeah,
McGregor boxing.
McGregor. They're both learning, bruv. They're both learning about it, bro. Man like me knows the stuff, bro. When it comes to the linear championship, yeah, I know about this stuff. The stuff is very important. It's hand in hand with all them other belts and WBC and IBF. When you have, do you know how many? Do you know, like, to be the linear belt? Do you know how hard it is to become a? There's loads of champions, right, in boxing. They had one belt and they defended it and they were considered champions. But to be the linear champion, to be the number one in your division, bruh, that's something that people, you can live off that, you know. Like, what's his name again?
Tyson and Spinks. Remember, that's why Tyson won the Spinks fight.
Holyfield, every time they walked, even though they lost after that, the bottom line is they reached the mountain. They were just the number one. Andre Ward, like Carl Froch at some point, I think he was the number one. He had the linear belt. You know what I'm saying? I think, yeah, he had the Ring Magazine belt. When you have that belt, right, the linear belt, to say you're a G, bruv, that's it. You got credentials, a badass in your division, and that's what Fury has. That's why he walks around with so much swagger, and that's why they want to fight him, because the last guy to beat Vladimir, because he beat Vladimir and beat Vladimir better than Fury, right? But at some point, he's like, bro, we know Fury's weak, bro. We know he's been coke binging. He's probably doing that with Ricky Hatton now. But bro, that's what I'm trying to say. That's why they want to fight him. You mentioned it, right? The guy comes out of weight. Why would you not bring that guy in? We know he's binging. We know his weight's probably blew up as we speak right now. He's partying. He's a traveler. Bro, I'm trying to tell you, bro. You think you don't want to fight him?
I was hoping so bad.
No. Seriously, not on the reels. On the reels. You know their community, after they finish here, they have to celebrate. It's in their tradition. They have to drink a lot. They have to do a lot of bullshit. It's just in their tradition. They have to party. And they party for a week. Look, so Fury's locked him out. Fury's partying for a whole week right now, and he's just letting it loose. Right? That's what's going on. Trust me. And they know this.
Yesterday,
bro, he's letting it loose. He's letting it loose, bro.
Yesterday.
to BJ's point, though, I think that Fury is not going to fight in UK for a while after this fight.
Why would
he's going to base some in the States?
Yeah,
he
in the
is.
States.
But
Yeah.
He said he wants to fight in March next year again. That's when he wants to fight next in March.
Yeah. Well, he's going to be in the
Well,
States.
March
He's
is
going to
April.
be basing himself here.
Why do you find March if you can't find April? You see what I'm gonna say? You know that don't make no sense. Listen, listen. The next, listen. Let me tell you about Frank Warren, right? Frank Warren he threw Derek Jeter underneath the bus because he saw what Fury can bring him. There's no way you're trying to tell me that man, because I'm probably gonna see him at some point at some press conference. He's on the blower to Barry. He's not talking to Eddie because Eddie's the front man. Barry makes the decision. Let's get it right. Barry makes the decisions, right?
I don't know.
All right. Barry got embarrassed. Listen. Barry got embarrassed the other day on the radio station by Frank Warren. You know that's burning him up to now. So now Frank Warren's go, look, we've just gone over and we've done a job on your boy, the guy you did in the face. What's going on? Are we gonna fight or what? You know Frank's blatant, you know. Frank's just aggressive. Because we're gonna talk or what? You don't think Frank's fucking left a message on Barry's fucking answering? We need to talk about fucking listen, I'm telling you, that's why he was happy and smiling, because the payday's there. And remember now, Eddie, listen to this, right? Box Nation's in debt. Frank Warren's in debt. They need money, right? He needs money because no one's talking about Box Nation and the money they earn. Frank Warren needs that money to put himself back in the fucking good spaces. You think that's where they're going? What, you think then it's gonna go on a tour and fight bums and shit? Nah, bruv. No. He's told Fury, I'm gonna get you that fucking AJ fight in April. Trust me, bro. That's a done deal. I'm calling Barry, and you know what? Even if it's 45 and they're 65, we're taking it, bro. We're gonna take it.
Alright, wait and see. When they announce Wilder and AJ in April, we're gonna see what. I'm gonna phone you up and say, dude, what went wrong?
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't think that's the biggest demand right now. I think Fury right now has come off it pretty good. I think I know the robbery. People with Wilder, it's in two ways. Some people thought some people feel he got robbed, and some people feel Fury got robbed. But with Fury's come off it like, bro, either way, he's
Hey guys, I got breaking news real quickly. There's an update of Adonis Stevenson's condition. He's been upgraded from critical to stable.
Oh,
so
cool.
he's doing fine now.
Oh, that's good, man. That's good, man. That's good news, man.
Good news.
Thanks, Dan, man. That's good news, man. You know, Low Place will be happy about that, man. Hey, that's one of the most hardest felt. And the people were still going at him in the chat, innit? They were still going at him in the chat when he was still doing his hangout, right? They were still trolling him.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they were. I mean, sometimes there's a level of you gotta have your level of restraint. Yeah, he was pissing a lot of people off with the Adonis Stevenson push. Yeah, but at the same time, you gotta step back and say, you know what? He is a fighter. He is human. At the end of the day, it's sad to watch a guy go through a situation like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he is going through he's in stable condition now. So that's good news. So I just want to throw that out.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's good. It's good that he's stable. So we don't want any bad things to happen. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but boxing. The thing is, even when he gets up, and he comes out of that thing, I hope like he has all his motors intact, because you know, being in conscious stuff, sometimes people don't come out 100%. Like Richard Colonia, you know what I mean? He could be vegetable state or whatever, you know what I'm trying to say? Because he probably, and this is what I thought, the reason why it's probably a bleed on the brain. When he got hit, it was probably a bleed on the brain that he got, man. It's some fucking, that fight when we was watching it, it was vicious, you know. I mean, it was
I'm thinking about that too. Yeah, I think because I was thinking about that last night when you mentioned about that Bio Jack fight. I think that was a blood vessel that broke in his brain.
Yeah.
It could, because that was very thick the way it was coming to his nose. Like, dude, I never seen blood that poor thick like that before.
Yeah.
Oh my days! I'm reading a report. Yeah, these people, man.
What's up?
Basically, you know like in the UK media anyway, the Sun are making a big deal of when Wilder knocked down Fury, he did like, you know, that slit across your throat thing, that taunt.
Yeah,
why did that?
You know, like his head is dead or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're making such a big deal out of it. They're shitting on Wilder.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Hey, listen.
Yeah, but that's what they're gonna do.
Yeah, but that's good. Yeah, but that's good though, because the thing is, more publicity, good or bad, that's good. Like even if it's negative, they're talking about you. They're doing that's listen. Eubanks, used to have negative publicity about him every day. He used to eat it up. People used to hate that guy, bro. But he loved it. It was attention. You know what I mean? That's what boxing is. So even if you're getting negative attention, at least someone's talking about you. They're talking about you now. You're relevant, bro. Like when you're not talking about, then you're not relevant. How many champions in the sport? Like that guy who equaled Mayweather's record. That's the most amount of attention that guy's ever had in his life. What about the guy who's gonna fight Mayweather, that Japanese guy? No one even heard of that guy before Mayweather even went over in Japan.
Talking about Wing Pack.
Yeah, you, bro. Some people fight. Some people could be fighters, yeah, amongst us. We wouldn't even know, bro. When you get that attention, like Wilder's getting, negative or thingy, is good for you, bro. Because if people have an opinion about you and they want to see you, whether they hate you, whether they don't hate you, at least you know what I'm saying. That's what it's about, bro. So don't take it no ways. Don't take it no ways. I mean, wait, 400 years. What did he say again? Up to today. What did he say to today? Was it today? Oh, that shit wilder, bro. Now I can look back and laugh. But at the time,
to this day. They like the narratives. They like the narratives.
Yeah, but you see,
the journey. Can he do it?
Yeah,
that was the whole narrative towards it. So I knew that was to have. They do this in the UK. They like, I don't know in America, if the TV coverage in America, but they love the narratives and the storylines and all the, you know. Can he come back? The redemption. So I knew they were going to make it all Fury down the line. Do you know what I mean? So it wasn't a surprise.
Yeah, that's you got English, you got Irish supporters. So if you're going to read some of their articles, like obviously from us here, you're going to get a different take in it, which is not going to be necessarily the same information you hear. So I remember we are kind of reporting stuff from on our channels, and people come to our channels to listen to us, so you are kind of reporting. But at the end of the day, if you're going to hear from one of the journalists that they're upset that he done the thing, boy, you're in the wrong sport, man. You know what I mean? What do you think he was going to do? That's wild. What do you think he going to do? He's been doing that. He always does that shit. No one noticed. Everyone was looking at Fury when that happened anyway. You think I was watching that?
I saw that, but that's like normal. Like Fury, Wilder does that kind of stuff.
Yeah, he does that.
Not like anything new.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But I think that the British press, like this first time, I think the first time the British press has really looked at Wilder properly, because this is the first time he's fought someone from Great Britain, like in a big fight. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
But Fury, I think sorry to interrupt you. Yeah, I think Fury's been getting so much bad press lately. There's certain media who wanted to want to change that narrative. So they want to change that narrative. You beat the big bad black guy with this. So they want to try and change that narrative and put him into a light or space where, you know, he can be because people still think he's a traveler. I mean, he's a traveler. People still look at him like that, bro, because they just do. So they're trying to change that narrative and put bad light and Wilder to maybe boost up Fury, to make people like Fury, which really and truly Fury doesn't care either way. He's just gonna be who he is, because even if you boost him up, you know he's gonna let you down eventually. So why bother? Yeah. Why bother? He gonna do some fuck shit.
I realized the problem. The thing is in Fury's has really gone up in popularity, because before on social media I was posting stuff on Fury, he wasn't getting much views, but now every time I post something on Fury, he could be eating a biscuit and then it'll be getting up like loads of views. Do you know what I mean?
Well, guess what? His popularity is growing after this fight. People know him now in the United States, so. Again, this kind of make AJ look bad now, because he should have taken his opportunity to come over in the States and fought Wilder. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying.
But yeah, so we'll see. We'll see what happens now. It's going to be very interesting. Wilder's got options now. He can fight a rematch with Fury, or we can go in a unification. And if I was Wilder, I'll be thinking to myself, if I was AJ, I'll be thinking I'll be going after Wilder, because they both want to become unified champions. That's the easiest fight. So I'll go fight Wilder, become the unified champion, then he can risk it against Fury down the line.
Okay.
And do you know what I mean? Because if you fight Fury and you lose, that means you've lost the opportunity to become unified. So it makes more sense to fight for unification, all the belts, and then if you win, then you can fight Fury down the line in a rematch. And then people still want it. People still go, yeah, I'll have it. I don't mind waiting a few months until September.
You know it's funny. What I mean? You know it's funny, right? You know it's funny because it's like, you know, with Wilder stuff, like in America, I realized when I heard Mayweather and Andre Ward and some of Mike Tyson, and you see your country, Dan, yeah, even though it's more of a continent, right? It's more of a continent in terms of where it's so big, yeah. Rather like there's no unified thing. At least in England, yeah, we kind of think in certain ways we think, right? We're before you
in unison.
Yeah, we're more in unison. Even though me and Edge, we disagree, there's certain things we agree on, we strongly agree on, but it's not out of the range where we're gonna thoroughly disrespect each other. But in America, I feel like, whoa, the stuff they were saying about Wilder and they're supposed to be his countrymen, bruh, I don't think they're his countrymen, bruh. Because I was thinking, bruh, that's supposed to be your champion, and it looks bad because there's no unison, right? There's no
I've been telling you this for years. I've been telling you this for years, man.
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't like it.
But I know.
They don't like. There's some of them. Look, we know Mike Tyson and Deontay Wilder has a history, man. They don't like each other.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Mike Tyson certainly don't like to do it. Floyd has shown some bit of I say the word contempt, but he's shown some little bit of disregard for Deontay too. So it's like it's been like that for a long time with them. They just I don't know what is about Deontay they don't like, but it is what it is. Maybe
I think it's more of a cultural thing than more than.
They don't like it because he's from Alabama.
It's not a cultural thing. It's about who has more clout over the other. This is what this is all about.
Yeah.
And you know, when you fight for status and you like to keep that certain status for a long time. You don't want someone else to stop you. And Floyd's been like that for years. He doesn't like when people try to overshadow him. He doesn't like that.
No.
And neither does Mike Tyson. So they probably feel, I'm just my opinion, they probably feel that Deontay now, Wilder, with his rise of popularity, given after this fight, or before the fight maybe in a way, they're just trying to find a way to curtail that. They just don't like it. They like to keep their spot. You know what I mean? So
I just don't think he get that spot in the first place to
you're fucking.
I think that Fury. I mean, I think Mike Tyson don't like him because he was trying to diss Mike Tyson, saying he's not really, great, blah blah blah. That's where the Mike Tyson beef came from. And then Floyd Mayweather, Floyd is just Floyd. Floyd is just like, and Floyd, to be honest with you, Floyd keeps it real. Like, one thing about Floyd,
you're a funny guy. You the one who said he can't read. Get out of here! You're fucking funny. Get out! You're fucking. He keeps it real, yeah. But he can't read. Go ahead. Why you say he can't read? Then you said he can't read the other day.
What's not reading? What's to do?
I'm trying to say how you criticize. You're critiquing. You're critiquing. Floyd never said he can't read.
Wilder was true.
No, hold up. Floyd never said he can't read. But you come out and say, because someone else said that. You just reiterate. Why is he talking for? He can't read. Didn't you say it the other day? So now all of a sudden he keeps it real. Stop being hypocritical, man.
We're talking about something else.
No, I'm trying to say about you. It's good now. Floyd keeps it real, but the other hand, you're trying to say, when Floyd made a statement about something, what's he talking about? He can't even read. I mean, what do you mean?
I was talking about something completely different. But what I'm talking about now in this one, in boxing, against Wilder, he was completely right. He was completely right.
Yeah, but the other day he can't read.
Objective.
Yeah, okay.
He was being objective.
Yeah.
He was being constructive.
Yeah, because you agree with it, it's keeping it 100%. Because you agree with it, it's 100. When you don't agree with it, he can't read. Okay, I got you right nicely, isn't it?
What are you talking about?
When you don't agree with someone, you're ready to find it. Because you agree with it. Because you agree with that. Yeah, it is. That's what it is. That's what it is. Why did you? Why did you say? Why did you say? Why did you say he can't read? Why did you say he can't read?
No.
Yeah,
he can't read. He can't write. How can I create? So how can he come up with those?
Hold it. So you hold on. So he put.
Don't do his own.
Hold on. So you saw him put something on Instagram. No, hold on. You saw something. So you need to back that. So you saw something on Instagram, alright, and you saw a spelling mistake and you said he can't read, is that right?
A spelling mistake? What?
Why did you come to the conclusion, or how have you come to the conclusion that he can't read? I'm gonna ask you that. How did you come to that conclusion?
He ain't denied it. He ain't denied it, ain't he? He ain't denied it.
Why would you though? That's a stupid thing. It's like me making an allegation towards you, and you don't see me as nothing. Why would you respond to me if you don't see me as nothing?
We don't see me as nothing.
You obviously
are. When your best mate is calling you out and saying you can't read, then it's yours. Then
but 50 Cent. Hold up, 50 Cent. Yeah. Okay, 50 Cent. Yeah. Hold up, 50 Cent is on the slide, right? Everyone knows on the slide. His records ain't. Instead of him in the studio making music, no one knows. Everyone knows he was bankrupt, from fucking that water thing, and he ain't doing nothing good. Mayweather don't want nothing to do with him because he's a bum, and now he's on Twitter saying you can't read and you're gonna listen to him. Why would he respond to that guy?
Okay then. So look at it. So you're saying that he's on the slide. But then why is he responding to Oscar De La Hoya, who's not even boxing anymore? He's retired. Why is he responding to him then?
I don't know. You told me what was said. I don't know what was said.
Well, he posted a picture of Oscar De La Hoya in some fucking, you know what I'm talking about, in some
Fishnet. Yeah, because they were rival promoters. And 50,
but he's retired.
So yeah. I know. I'm trying to tell you, they don't like. They don't know. But 50 Cent, if you remember,
those two just don't like each other.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to tell him. 50 Cent walked to the ring with Mayweather. They don't like each other.
Came out.
Go ahead.
And then Floyd came out on his Instagram and dissed 50 Cent's whole thing. When you talk about this, Do you see the Instagram post that Floyd came out and ripped Floyd Mayweather 50 Cent?
No, I didn't know. Go ahead, I'm listening.
Yeah, he ripped it. Let me see if it's still.
Yeah, but what's that got to do with Floyd can't read though?
But that's what I'm saying to you. You're saying that he's not going to respond to 50 because he's on the slide and rock. But he responded. He done a
no, but he responded to some. Hold on. But when he responded, okay, when he responded, could he read it? Could he not read it when in response?
50 was taking the piss because I think he exposed the issue with his ex when he bought a car and then she took the car and went with some next dude. And 50 was like, what? Your girl doing you like that? After you bought the car, and then Floyd got pissed, and then he started ripping into him. Let me see if I can find it.
But that still doesn't explain why he can't read. I'm echoing somewhere. Why am I echoing? Yeah, it still doesn't mean why he can't read. So like you haven't explained it really, like you know what I mean? You haven't explained it.
No. But what I'm saying to you is that you're saying that he's not going to respond to that accusation.
No, yes, that one. Yeah, to that one.
It's beneath him.
Yeah, that's right.
But then he's responded over some chick in some
because he's a simp. Because he's sick. Yeah, but you know Floyd loves chicks. That's different. That's different. But about reading, why would he respond to that one? Like, why would you feed? Why would you feed into that one? But about chicks and personal matters, you already know. Like 50 Cent is surfing, innit? He's surfing to get on his nerves. Whether he's trying to say certain things, and furthermore, the person who exposed or tried to say that Floyd can't read it was Charmaine the God when Floyd was trying to rehearse for advert. He asked him to read something, and he was the one who put it out there. And since then, right, he knows he shouldn't have done it. He apologized for that shit, but he knows that he goes, Floyd can read. Everyone knows he can read. So I'm just saying, where do you get the information? You know what I mean? Like you still haven't.
Floyd ain't said nothing yet about he can read. So I'm just saying.
No, but Charmaine. I'm telling you, Charmaine. Hold up. I said Charmaine God, who put the thing out. He's since then said, bro, what I said was out of order. Floyd can read. That's what he said. He's the one who put it out though. That's where it came from.
Oh yeah, but Floyd ain't met it. It came out and said he can read.
But the person who put it there, but you didn't hear what I said. The person who initially brought the thing out about Floyd can't read, he since then took it down and said nah. He apologized. So why would Floyd? Floyd's not going to approve the allegation anyway. What I'm trying to say to you is that so now Floyd keeps it 100. Is that right? So when he does the fishnet, when he does the fishnets, when he responds to the fishnets from 50 Cent, he kept it real, right? Was that 100?
What's that?
When he responded to the fishnets.
I'm talking about in regards to speaking objectively in regards to the fight. That's what I'm talking about. To the fight now. That's objectively, but
wait, question is, do you agree with Floyd that Tyson Fury won the first 5 rounds? You agree with that?
I don't agree with him in regards to that. But what I'm saying to you is, it's not about whether I agree with Floyd or not. What I'm saying to you is, it's not about keeping it 100. It's not about whether I agree to it or not. It's that he is basing. If he's got an opinion based on that fight, he's coming up with objectiveness based on his opinions on that fight. He's not using it as a personal thing. Do you know what I mean? It's not like saying he's saying that because he don't like Wilder saying that. What he's saying makes sense in the logic of what he's saying. People may not agree, but you can see where he's coming from in regards to that view. Do you know what I mean? You can see where he's coming from. You can say he said, look, he's got one thing. He's got the jab. If he's not doing that, he needs to do that. He needs to go to the body. He needs to do this. So he's using objectiveness in regards to his views. It's not looking. It's not sounding. It's like, do you know what I mean? He's using the objectiveness in his views. You might disagree with certain things that he's saying, but he's being objective. You couldn't look at that and watch that and think, he's just hating. He's just hating. Some of what he's saying makes sense.
Some.
Do you know what I mean?
So let me answer this question. So when Floyd said some things about Joshua, was he being objective? Was he keeping it 100 about him?
Go ahead. What does he say about Joshua?
Well, he said that Joshua's good, but he's got some deficiencies. He's stiff. He's robotic. He's kind of like he has no. He said that about Joshua. So he's keeping it 100 about him.
Yeah, he's keeping it 100. He's being consistent. He's being consistent. He's not just saying.
He also said that Joshua's not a big star either. So do you agree with him on he's keeping it 100 about that?
What's that?
He said Joshua's not really a big star. He said that.
No, I disagree with him. But when I say
so he's not keeping it 100 then?
No.
Exactly.
Keeping it 100 does not mean I have to agree with someone all the time to keep it 100. I keep it 100 in regards to I support
Eddie Hearn.
Wilder. I support AJ, but I'm keeping it one, and I'm thinking that Fury is the best in the division. Now you guys could disagree with that, but
but you're saying that
at least I'm not being inconsistent in my view.
Fair enough. But you just said that Floyd keeps it 100, always keeps it 100. That's what you just said. So now you're saying he doesn't always keep it 100. Okay.
He's keeping it 100 in regards to the boxing. Well, I mean, it depends on what your view is on keeping it 100. My view on keeping it 100 mean is that he is being consistent in regards to it. He's not just saying that, Wilder is the best in the world and blah, 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 blah. But then he's just dissing AJ and this and this. He is being critical of both fighters. He's saying AJ has got some flaws in regards to his views. And
he says
Wilder's got flaws in his fight, in his game too. People might disagree. I might just not agree with everything that he says, but at least he is keeping it real on both those fighters. He's not just saying, AJ's the best, he's the God's gift to boxing, and saying that Wilder is totally crap. Do you know what I mean? That's why I say that's what I'm talking about, keeping it 100.
Well, let me tell you something about my definition of keeping it 100. Yes, you're keeping it 100 means you're not afraid to speak your mind. You're going to be objective as you could be, but you have to be almost 100% right. And Floyd is not always 100% right, and that's what you're implying. That's what it seems to us. That's what you're trying to insinuate.
Yeah. But that's not what I mean by keeping it 100, because no one can't be 100% right 100% of the time.
Okay, so he wasn't 100% right about his time.
But then if you're using it based on that logic, then no one's not always keeping it 100 then. No one does anything 100 then. Because no one can't be 100% right at any time.
Agree with us then. Okay, great. That's all I need to know. Yeah, exactly. So Floyd's not always totally accurate. So that's all we're just trying to say. He's not always totally accurate, man. He can't always be. When he's 100, he's not 100 on his assessment. Okay. I didn't agree with. I'm not a big Floyd Mayweather fan. I did agree that Tyson Fury was winning the fight with him. I agree with him on that standpoint. But to say that Deontay Wilder was losing all first 5 rounds, no. I was like, no.
I don't agree. I don't agree with that statement. I thought he lost. I thought Wilder won the first. Maybe he could have won the first one. But
the second, first two he won. Yeah, first two.
I thought he won. I thought Fury won 4 of the 5 rounds. I
thought Fury won 3 of the 5. To my opinion, I thought Wilder won the first 2.
I didn't go Wilder winning the 5th round. I thought Fury won the 4. I thought he won 4 straight, and then I gave him the 5th round. But other than that, that's all I gave him.
Yeah, I thought Fury was winning comfortably.
How you scored it? You still kind of end up in the same result. What was the end result? What was your scorecards? I gave it a draw.
It was a draw.
I gave it a draw. I still ended up the same way. What'd you end up, Dan?
I
had it 114, 112 for Fury, but I really got to look at it one more time, because I could have looked at it and said, you know what, this is a draw. If it weren't for those knockdowns, then Fury would have won the fight more comfortably. Yeah, because those two knockdowns. Yeah. I'm just saying, because of those 2 knockdowns, it cost him the fight where Wilder closed the gap. Yeah. Where you can argue that, you know what, Fury lost the fight. He could have lost the fight on a very close split decision, or it could have been a draw. Either way, based off that. So. I think that the draw is despite what we disagree on, I think most people would say that this was more likely a draw. A draw is more deserving a decision than giving it to a winner. Obviously.
Yeah. I just think it was a straight robbery.
If you know what's funny, right? Sugar Leonard went against Tommy Hearns, the 2nd time, right? And I think Hearns hit him down twice, and that fight ended a draw as well, innit? It was a draw.
It did.
See?
It did. It did.
And people,
look at that again, it was a lot closer than what I thought. But I still thought that Hearns won it.
I thought Hearns won.
Still, though, I can see why they scored the draw.
Yeah,
it was a close fight. It was a close fight.
Yeah. They thought Hearns won, and I was like, I thought when I watched it, because he was landing the more meaningful punches, but end of the day he got the 2 knockouts. But Leonard did come back on him good, You know what I'm saying?
He did. He did.
So if you look at the fight with Fury and Wilder, in terms of boxing, but you think about in the bigger space, say in the bigger scheme thing, okay, one of the scorecards was like wide, and that was a bit too wide, way too wide, right? But in the bigger scheme thing, in the outcome of boxing, it's left us with more. We want more. We want, there's narratives, there's this, there's that, there's talking points. There's so many options for us to talk about, which really, if there was one conclusive winner, we'd be like, okay, AJ next, that's it. But now it's like, okay, these 2 are built, they can build themselves and go against other guys, Kaneki and all these other guys, maybe Miller, Derek Stora, Dillian White, all these other things can happen. and we can see them, you know, fight against all these guys, then come back again and try to fight again. See what AJ does as well. So interested in AJ. And then obviously you got Usyk. Usyk looks like when Mr. Bashir said to me that Usyk can beat both of them, I looked at Mr. Bashir like he was crazy. But now, not so much. Not so much. I think the gap's much closer. I think Usyk can do something. I think he can do something, bro. I'm not lying. You know what I mean? He could be a problem for these guys out here, because the way he's moving and the way he's like, you know what I mean? I'm not too sure, man. I'm not too sure now, you know. So that's the way I see it. But anyways, I was recording this. Go ahead.
I put in the chat like the Floyd thing. What Floyd said about Mayweather. Anyways, I put it on there. So
what Floyd said about Mayweather.
What Mayweather said about 50. Anyways, like,
I remember this. I remember the whole thing. It was a long. I didn't read it. I just saw a long thing. You can see he was hurt by it because it was a long sentence. So in that he had spelling mistakes in that. Did he?
Huh?
Did he have spelling mistakes in that?
I don't remember like at that time. It was a long time.
Well, you just put in the chat, so you must know. You must know there's spelling mistakes in that. So you must know, right? So you said he can't read or something. He can't write. So.
I know, but we know.
But he can read it. Obviously, he can. But when you put that in the chat, you must know that there can't be there's no spelling mistakes in that. Obviously, is it?
I don't know, but whoever did it, he didn't write anyway.
Oh, but why? So you don't know he put it up. So why would you put it in the chat? Why are you assuming that he actually said that? Then someone could be lying.
No, man, no. He got someone doing that. He goes, "Hey guys, write this for me." Yeah, and then he said what he wanted to say.
Is that right? Okay, all right. See, well, you know, you know, when you're rich like that, when you're rich like that, you're right. Yeah, you're right. When you're rich like that, you do have secretaries. I do agree that. So in that respect, then why are you assuming that he can't read then?
What am I assuming? Yeah, like, I'm assuming that he can't read because like he hasn't. You have
no evidence whatsoever. None. That you still haven't offered none.
No evidence.
No, you have no evidence to prove that he can't read. None. You haven't offered no evidence. But it's just your opinion. You have no evidence. Give me some evidence then.
There's no evidence that he can.
What kind of? Okay, I can say that about you then.
The only evidence we have is a public video that's been spread when he's struggling to read.
What was he reading? It was a commercial. No, hold on. He was reading it. No, hold on. He was actually reading it. He was rehearsing something. So how was he not reading it? He was reading it. He was rehearsing.
He was struggling.
But he was reading it. But he was reading it. Wasn't he reading it? Wasn't he reading it though? You said if you can't read, hold on. There's reading. You can't read. That means you can't read. That means you don't understand the words that is in front of you, and they're struggling to read. Or maybe he had some difficulty when he was pronouncing words. But that doesn't mean you can't read. That's not a proof. That's not a proof, man.
Look, the reality of the situation is that he could have dyslexia. We don't know. But the point I'm making is that if someone comes to you, coming out on the public, like a public celebrity like 50 Cent, you might say 50 Cent is a nobody, but he's got like 20 million followers. He's one of the. I know. It's also because you got 20. Hold up. So because you got Alex Jones got 20 something followers. Does that make him someone? Are you trying to make it seem like because you've got that many followers that you're somebody? No, but
that doesn't mean anything.
Make like 50 Cent is a nobody. Come on.
No. I'm trying to say to you were trying to make it because you mentioned followers. So I'm trying to say to you because you got followers doesn't mean you're someone. All I'm telling you, these two are at war, right? They were friends, right? And as you know, as friends, they say bad words against each other because they're not friends no more. So why would you take their words as gospel when they're arguing and they're saying stuff they don't really mean about each other?
No, because at the end of the day,
why would you take it as gospel?
No, I look at it. No, come on. No, you know the deal.
I'm telling you the deal. At a minute, you still have no evidence, bro. You still have. It's like you was married to a woman, right? She divorced you, and she said you got a small dick, but she married you for 10 years. But she's saying you're small dick. She's telling the truth.
No.
Okay, it's easy if you decide that, right? Because it's about you.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
50 Cent was exactly. So 50 Cent is a scorned woman. He's like a scorned woman, isn't he? He's scorned. He's upset. He's upset that Mayweather don't want to talk to him no more. He's upset because Mayweather mentioned about his son, right? His son doesn't talk to him no more. You got a serious grunt there. I don't know what's wrong with you. You ill or something? Because all I've been hearing is you snorting up your nose like some coke, like Ricky Hatton. Are you smoking, son? I don't know, bro. I don't know. You taking a line over? You taking a line over there, bro? Because I can hear it regularly.
I got the mic next to my chest. I'm like,
oh, is it? Well, you know what? That's better than this. You got
it. Anyways.
Yeah, go on.
Let's go off this Floyd situation.
Yeah, because you're getting that work.
Well, the point I was making is that he had a point. So
why you said you're getting off it? You just said you're getting off it. So why we go? Anyway, go anyway. So anyway,
I was saying that was the point. That was the point I was trying to make.
Nah. It's alright. I won the debate. It's alright. But anyway, listen. Let's go back to this.
Yeah. Like Wilder got the draw.
I thought it was a draw. So I had my scorecard officially, and I had it a draw. Daniel, you still there?
Yeah.
What's your take on overall boxing this weekend? Let's talk about Jeff Horn. Do you watch the Jeff Horn fight?
No, that's probably one of the fights I wrote just because of work. Like, it is what it is. Like, it's an Australian match with the.
Well, they ain't much in that fight anyway. It was not much in that fight anyway. He scored a first round knockout over Anthony Modine. Not much.
That was 60
Think about it. It's Anthony Modine. At this stage, come on.
But you know what?
Like overall, the weekend.
He ended up like Adonis Stevenson because he's quite old and he's come down. That guy fought at super middleweight, you know. Come down to 154. That's terrible. His weight. He must have needed the money. He must need the money, man. He got bust up back. He must have needed the money because to come down from 168 and then all the way down to 154. Go ahead, Edge. Y'all still there?
Okay. When it comes to Adonis, like, I just think he just tried to get a first or second round knockout. I think that's all he was looking for, and it was pretty much all downhill for him as soon as Vasek knocked him down in the third round. Because that gave Vasek all the confidence to just move, position himself, get combinations going, and Stevenson did almost nothing to counter it. And obviously, like I said, we hope he has a pretty speedy recovery because luckily he's gone from critical to stable, but he's not out of the woods yet because we know the condition can worse at any time.
Yeah, exactly. This is what I'm saying. And Andy Mundine, another one, he should never been in the ring. That's why I mentioned it. I don't think he should have ever been in the ring as well. And it's like boxers have been doing it. Our sport, and even with MMA, they were, you know, Dana White blasted Oscar De La Hoya just the other day for putting Chuck Liddell in there against Tito. You know, he blasted Oscar De La Hoya badly, man. You know, said, you know, what the fuck is he doing? Why would you the board sanction this fight? But I think it's more to because he's really good friends with Chuck, and you want to see Chuck. That's why he retired Chuck and said, "Nah, you can't fight no more." You know, Chuck.
Well, you know what? The thing is that Dana should be upset at Oscar. He should be upset at the California State Athletic Commission for sanctioning that fight. They shouldn't even allow that to go. He should be mad at Oscar for that. Yeah, that's not his problem. Oscar's job is to management. That's all he's there to do.
No, you know what it is? Because the reason for that? Because MMA is such a different role from boxing. He's used to being run like the WWE where the promotion controls everything. And so he's pretty much thinking that, Oscar ran everything without realizing that, no, this is his first MMA card. And he went through the same procedures like he would a boxing match. Like, yeah, you have to blame the commission for it. To going into it. It's an embarrassment, for when it comes to MMA fight, when it comes to both of these guys, but how much money did it make for Oscar? Did it do enough where Oscar can actually say, you know what, I'm going to stay in this MMA fight. Let me get some other young fighters here going. And I may just have enough clout to just put an even dent on either UFC or even Bellator. That's what Dana White's mad at, because he knows that Oscar would at least has experience as a promoter, somebody that has to deal with athletic commissions overall, that he can't relax on it. He can't just say, USA has no competition and Bellator is just there because they're signing all of my old guys. People have to realize, Golden Boy, financially they depend on Canelo, their life depends on it. But they have a good group of kids that are coming up, and they're being tested. They're not being protected. So that's something that Oscar can feed us, where he can say, point out to other kids in mixed martial arts, I will get you in big fights, I will get you in big arenas, and you don't have to wait for Dana White to say it's your turn. You want to fight this guy? Then fight this guy.
Yep. Well, that's how that goes, man. That's how that goes, boy. So, Oscar, Dana White, whatever, man. It's just one of them things, man. But it's one of them things. Anyways, I was recording this. It was a good debate, 2-hour debate with the guys chatting back and forward. So I'm gonna put this, and it's gonna be premiering on my channel in a bit. So you guys make sure you thumbs up, leave your comments, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Appreciate all the guys talking, the boxing, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
DJ Boxing Live here. DJ Boxing Live here.